Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, can you believe the audacity of the Kung Fu Cup to just not be on today? It was 7 a.m. Hang on, let me check. Let me get the timeline on this. It was 7:20 a.m. And I replied to Inu because he was asking about the schedule, and I was asking him about his schedule. And he was like, oh, well, I have all the full Kung Fu Cup schedules. Like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, wait, there's no Kung Fu Cup today? And we were both very sad. So, I said to Inu, I was like, brother, I didn't say brother. I could have done. I was like, shall we make a cup? I was like, if I make a cup, can you find me players? Because I have to go out, but we could make a cup. So, Inu got right on the Discord to the Koreans. And minutes later, we had 3 players. And then we finally got a 4th in herO who finally woke up. So, we have got a 4-player cup today, 3 best of 5s, $200 on the line. Now, some of the players had a set of rules they wanted to play under, which, I mean, this honestly just, it doesn't matter. The Protoss and Zerg players request, the Protoss and Zerg, so classic herO and SHIN, all requested and agreed that they would play in the PvZ only, map 1, old patch, map 2, current patch, map 3, old patch, map 4, current patch, map 5, we flip a coin. So for PvZ, there will be previous patch. Mixed in with new. I didn't make the rules. I literally told them to be here for a tournament. I wanted to cast today. I'm not casting anything tomorrow. And I've obviously not cast a lot lately, so it felt like a real shame not to cast today. It was really going to be a bit of a shitter. So yeah, actually pretty happy that we were able to get something together. Like I say, shout out to Idu. He's the Korean streamer. He got everyone together. I literally, he even made the name of it. I actually did nothing. I basically gave the money. Well, I didn't give the money. I basically said I would give the money. It's like free labor, man. I was like, do you want to cast? Do you want to work today? If so, you can organize everything. So Inu has us all set up. So yeah, we're gonna start the day with ByuN versus herO. That's all gonna be new patch. And then we're going to do Classic versus SHIN, and that will be the mixed patch. Like I say, it's what the player... I literally, the first I heard of it was herO confirmed, but they want to play like this. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Because, yeah, there's no Kung Fu Cup today. I don't know why. I don't know if there's something going on in China or what, but no Kung Fu Cup today. And as such, we decided, well, that just won't do. We can't just have no StarCraft on a Wednesday, when we always have StarCraft on a Wednesday, you know? So, yeah, here we are. Here we are. Gonna cast some games and have a good time with it, hopefully. This is completely out of my own pocket. This is not out of the Patreon fund or anything. Like, this is just actually just a straight up, I just wanted to cast today, so we just put $200 into it. So if you guys appreciate that and you enjoy it, consider doing the clickety-clicks, the subs, the likes, do the donations as well. Helps us out a bunch. Help us out a bunch. Because, yeah, this one is just literally bonus StarCraft, because otherwise today was going to be very empty. Very, very empty. So, yeah. How's everyone doing? You're going to refer to this as a WardiTV Monday Cup because it's not on a Monday? Whoa, 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 whoa. WardiTV Mondays have never been on a Wednesday. We've never once had a Monday Cup on a Wednesday. Like, not a single time. All right. $200 a day as an honorarium rate is steep. I just wanted some StarCraft, man. Like $200 is like, like $100 is like show match level, you know. $200 is we could actually convince 4 people to come and play. So a couple best of 5. So sometimes I feel like ByuN is multiple people. You see him in every tournament. Yeah, I mean ByuN's just like that, man. The dude's just cool. He just loves StarCraft, and all he wants to do is play StarCraft. So he's just out here. He sees every single tournament as an opportunity to practice. I'll tell you what, the work ethic of the pros is really pretty crazy, honestly. Like, it's pretty wild. It's pretty darn crazy. Is this live? Yeah, this is live. We even look at this, by the way. We even have player cams. I need to wake up and I need to wake up and realize there's no StarCraft more often. Look at the sick tournament we get out of it. We got player cams. We got 4 awesome players. God, honestly, great day for me. I'm living my life. I literally did nothing for this. Like, shout out, and he organized everything. So yeah, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, about player cams, I guess I'll just touch on this briefly. I think we will be, because there's now a very easy way for the players to share their cams, we will probably be adding player cams, not to everything. The thing with cams is it requires like a level of, you know, presentation for yourself, you know, and stuff like this. So I don't want to make this a thing that has to happen all the time for players. And while player cams are always nice, I don't think they're necessary. Personally, I don't think they're necessarily needed for like weekly cups and stuff. But I think for like WardiTV bigger event like playoffs and stuff, we will start adding a player cam requirement as well. So that will, yeah, that will be the that will probably happen because it's actually much easier to do now than it ever has been before. Like they all have this site they use. They literally log in, they send us the link, and we just add it. And it's like, if I already have it set up, like if I had it set up from yesterday, I just changed the 5 letters at the end of the link. Bam, player count. So yeah, it's easier than ever, so there's not really a reason not to do it for our bigger events, but it is going to be something we do for specifically bigger events. Will max packs be exempt? Yes. I don't know what max packs reason it is, but if whatever reason he had was good enough for ESL and everywhere else over the years, it's good enough for me, and I don't even know it. So I'll also make the rule that if you're playing against max packs, you do not need to put your own cam on, right? So if you have a good reason, and like I say, I'll make it fair conditions. You don't just put one cam on and we have a picture of a still image of a Protoss unit for max packs. It'll be fair on either side. So I think that'll be the thing. It's 8:14 in Korea right now. Why are they yawning? Well, they played the Picasso Cup last night, so I'm pretty sure herO woke up just an hour or 2 ago from like a little nap. I mean, the start of the week's pretty shitty schedule for the Koreans because they do the Monday Cup, WardiTV Monday Cup, then there's the Monday Night Cup, right? So then they stay up really late for that. And then the next day, basically when the Monday Night Cup would finish, the Pig Cup starts. So like their sleep schedule got screwed up on Mondays and Tuesdays pretty much every week, I would say. So yeah. So yeah, but that's the deal. If anyone's got any questions about stuff like that, player cams, or even suggestions, I'll take suggestions too, but I don't know if there's anything you can suggest. Someone's like, I'd actually, I'd really like if we could turn player cams upside down. It's like, well, I don't know if that's a good suggestion. I don't know if we need to hear it, so. Days before screwed them up. Yeah, like to me, the most common time that the Koreans want to play is around this time because it's like later evening, like 8 p.m. is pretty nice because if you want to go do something with your day, you can come home, whatever, right? And these guys typically stay up later anyway. They used to stay up later for events, or they're just degens and so on, and for laddering purposes and stuff. It is very common to get replies from the Korean players at 6, 7 a.m. and that's not because they're up early. That's because they're still awake, So it's really not unusual to see that kind of be a factor a lot of the time. So we are going to have these rocks going to be knocked down here. I'm going to block this space off a little here over the next few moments. Just getting into that for a couple seconds, and he sees that this is a 1 base from ByuN as well. I'm yapping on, but ByuN is 1 base in here, guys. So this is pretty aggressive out of our Terran player to start us off. And these tanks and marines about to arrive. Obviously, very important for you to do some damage here as ByuN, because you're one base. You don't get away with just going home from here and building a late command center. Batteries at the front are all getting set up, so we're bringing those into place already. So as batteries get set, good tank fire. Actually going to hit into a group of those units already, which is going to be really nice. I'm just going to see the marines able to get in after one battery after a second. Actually going to be kind of nice because it's going to be the third battery going down before it's even able to do anything. So all three of those batteries get denied, and that's an investment now that didn't go anywhere for herO. Not ideal when your opponent's one base new. He's about to have blink, so it's time to go. The SCVs have repaired up that tank. And tank repair was really clutch because it actually allowed you to make sure that tank survived just a little bit longer. The Cyclone Locker was also great. Finished off one of the Stalkers. And now we're going to try and push a bit further forward. The battery's about to be out of energy. The next two batteries are not ready just yet. Knock down the gateway, pylons dropping. I mean, Stalkers with Blink, I don't want to doubt, because I truly believe the Stalkers with Blink have potential here still. But it is a lot of firepower. We are going to pull the probes in this way. It starts being a lot of dangerous amounts of damage, right? So this is where it becomes a little bit more damaging. The Viking, the Cyclone still alive in the back is kind of huge. The new batteries came up and they help, of course, but it's still not enough, especially with the Cyclone still adding good damage in here as well. That's also a very nice part of this. And that's going to be, I think, probably enough in these next few moments. Oh, nice tank shot. Hits a couple Stalkers. Going to work our way through this Nexus, through the batteries. Another Stalk on the high ground, and we'll see this pretty much just being done. I think this was more than enough from ByuN in the end, and obviously now you're set up, you're going to start pushing into the main. The problem with the push up into the main for herO is that that choked area is very difficult for him to engage into. So pushing this back is just extremely, extremely difficult at this point, because you have to basically fight choked up, and that makes it a much easier fight on the Terran side. Just push up this ramp. Gateway, I'm going to be taking some damage. And we are going to be seeing a couple Stalkers getting pushed back as well. Again, a couple of batteries will continue to be pushed out of here. And we're just going to be seeing herO. Feels as though he doesn't have enough really going for himself anymore. A little bit of battery healing, going to bring these Stalkers back up to health. I'm just going to see these Stalkers trying to get through. Both those tanks trying to fire. And we're going to kill one of the tanks. So credit to herO for getting that, but it cost you so many Stalkers. He has two gateways still. Again, I can't really imagine that that's going to be enough. And at this point, you can't even build Stalkers anymore, right? Because we are out of cyber cores. Like we have multiple. The cyber core is dead, as we are going to see the commitment through. Tank gets one good shot off, gets another, was just picking a target. And ByuN is going to pick up the first game of the day to open up 1-0 in this best of 5. Bam! ByuN getting it done. Don't care about player counts, but you think you're in the minority? Yeah, I think I'm also of this. I think for me, I like player cams in like the bigger events. Because to me, at the bigger events, I always felt as though like it was one of those things where like the players really are much more invested, right? Especially when they've traveled somewhere and like this is like their tournament life. Like I always feel like there's that investment, so it feels a lot better. I could understand for bigger tournaments like qualifying in at DreamHack and stuff like that has a lot more meaning. I was always very skeptical whether it was, worth adding to online events because again, does it hold enough grandeur to make it happen and stuff, is what I think. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's, like I say, we don't need it for like weekly cups. I wouldn't have really asked for it today, and he just likes it, so it's whatever. He really did just. I don't know why this is called the WardiTV Cup, but it's money, guys. Power of money gets your name on things. But yeah, it's nice. It's actually kind of funny though, because every time I've casted with player cams, I'm casting off a clean feed, right? Because I never really use them myself. So because I cast off a clean feed, usually the player cams are like right on the screen I'm casting from, so I also get to see the player cams. The problem now is that I do not get to see the player cams because the player cams are down in this bottom left corner. To me, they're not there because this is my game screen, So I just see the game screen. It's like I also don't see the WardiTV logo in the top right, believe it or not. So I don't actually see the player cams, so it's actually kind of awkward because for me, being on the broadcaster side of this, I'm like, well, I kind of feel like I missed the player cams because a couple of times yesterday, people were like, oh, Rogue's reaction, lol, or something. I was like, I have no idea at any point what Rogue did because I'm not looking at my tiny OBS, so I can barely even see the players on my POV as well, so yeah, it's a thing. So, yeah. Please display the unit health bar. The unit health bar is displayed. It's on damaged settings. So if your unit is damaged, you will see it. And if it's not there, it means the unit is full HP, which makes it a lot cleaner to see, so you can just more easily see things. Otherwise, you just get spammed by full HP units. Quite like how you just spammed multiple times for a setting that's already turned on. Crazy. Crazy. Can you get heart rates for the monitors? Heart rate monitors for the players? I mean, at some point, I'm going to get sued for stealing their personal data, man. Like, wait, is this the future of StarCraft? We just get all of the players to be like, oh yeah, we need your camera, we need your heart monitor, we need your browser history, and then it's like, then we sell the data. Oh my god, this is the future of funding the StarCraft tournaments? Ay ay ay, crazy business. Changing patch it. Okay, again, just to cover the patch thing, guys, again, it's PvZ only. We're going to play map 1 and 3 on the old patch, and map 2 and 4 on the new patch. And then map 5 will be a coin flip. This was purely upon request / the idea of the players. Because I guess one of them was very upset that they were going to have, one of the pros was going to be very upset that they had to play a Zerg. So, yeah, but yeah, I mean, SHIN's also been very outspoken about the patch not being good, so I think he's kind of fine with it too. So yeah, like I say, you know me, I don't mess around with changing patch and stuff, guys. But I didn't really make the tournament. I just, like I said, I just put some money into it. So we just go with the flow. So what the players want, we'll do what the players want. It's all good. So yeah, I'll have to explain that 100 times today. That's okay. That's alright. We'll be alright. You find that eye tracking interesting? Yeah, eye tracking in games is actually really cool because you learn a lot about where to look on the screen. Like, you can learn a lot about how to improve yourself by looking at where someone else is looking, where a pro player is looking. Like, you will notice so much how it's like they do not look at the center of the screen anywhere near as much as anyone else. They are much more looking at that mini-map, the supply count, the mini-map again, you know? Click glance to the center, like, it's, I also thought the eye trackers were cool in StarCraft. They had them in some events, right, where we went first-person view and it was eye tracking. I don't remember what events those were. You love the idea. Yeah, I think it's fun. I talked a lot about the patches and stuff and not wanting to cause division in the community. I just think it's good to still have a competitive version of the actual game being played. For a small cup like this, is just a fun cup. Like, this really is whatever. It's just a bit of fun for the day. It's nothing too serious. So I'm all for the players doing what they want to do, switching it up if they want to switch it up and stuff. I don't think there's ever any news about that. Have I heard any whispers about them just taking this patch away and putting it back the way it was? No. I mean, I don't hear anything because they don't... Well, even if they talk to community, it doesn't matter, because if they don't say what they want to do, then they just don't listen to you anyway, so... Yeah. Now the patch is irreversible, how can you convince players to return or get new players to try the game? You don't. That's, The problem with getting people, this isn't to be negative, but like, the problem is when you show people that they don't need something. Like, if you show people they can actually stop playing StarCraft, and they're like, oh, I just stopped. Getting them to come back is very tough. You know? So, yeah. And realistically, like, getting new people to play StarCraft has never really been a thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you just hope for a new patch in the future, and hopefully the new patch in the future is fun and cool, and gets people interested and gets some hype. It is kind of funny, though, because the, you guys remember when the patch came out? Then, the worker change got announced, and it got loads of publicity, like PC Gamer wrote an article and stuff, and all of this and that, like, the name StarCraft was everywhere. It was on everyone's tongues because it was actually like big news, and there's like massive people in the League of Legends scene tweeting who are like, this is the sort of thing that Riot should do. This is the sort of, proactive, like, changing the game that we need to see in our game and stuff, right? And all of this, like, very pro-patch stuff. Obviously, the patch went to absolute shit, right? But all these people, like, they saw the big headline, but they never came back to try and check out, hey, was that actually a good idea? So, anyways, I listened to a podcast the other day. Helen was listening to a podcast. In the background, I suddenly hear them be like, oh, StarCraft 2. I'm like, StarCraft 2? I'm like, that's what I do. So I listen in, and apparently, I guess, like, the producer or host, he's not like one of the main guys, he's like that producer also, the audio guy. They're a StarCraft fan. And so they start talking about giving the download why this patch is utter trash. I'm like, yes! Justice! Words of the people, spread it! Funny. Alright, let's talk StarCraft here in terms of what's actually going on. We've got Stalkers that are poking and prodding, and they are going to push back. There's 7 SCVs going down, which is a pretty sizable amount of damage here early on. Now, it is 4 gateways, so it's a little bit more invested from herO with those 4 gates. Losing a few SCVs here for ByuN is very manageable. As you can see, he's only down 4 works, and with mules, that's absolutely fine. And he's got the auto turret that's going to undo some work. Now, of course, the Stalker's not done on the other side. They're going to choose to go for that further away tech lab. They're going to get it. They're going to get both. This is the first time in the last couple of days ByuN has been losing his stim and his combat shields, as they are both going to go down right there. And a few more of these Stalkers just, a few more Zealots are going to get warped into to go with the Stalkers. We just lost 6 probes across the map, though. That's kind of crazy damage. Like, we killed 7 SCVs. Losing 6 probes is pretty crazy. Pretty darn crazy. You're just going to see these Marauders coming back around, Siege Tank getting sieged up. Stalker's going to shoot -7 SCVs again. I mean, that's kind of necessary after you lost a bunch of probes yourself. Again, herO needed some amount of damage. He is starting to get that now a little bit. So some of that damage starts to come through. It's going to hit that auto turret, going to work on the battery, going to try and get after the probe for a few moments as well. Again, charge coming up, the Immortal is coming by. The Dark Shrine will finish soon, the extra gates coming over. You do have Stim Pack Combat Shield and that +1 attack upgrade on the way. Obviously, the Stim Combat Shield, very delayed attack, at least going to finish. The good news I always say about Stim and Combat Shield is that other upgrades aren't really reliant on them. Like, obviously, your game plan and your timings are reliant on them, but at least once they're done, they're done. You know, it's not like when you lose an Engineering Bay, and that just doesn't just have that knock-on effect of, oh, there goes my +1. That's a delayed +1 armor. That's a delayed +2. That's a delayed +3. The repercussions of losing an Engineering Bay really reverberate through the game. And obviously, losing Stim and Combat Shield reverberates through the game as well, because not being able to push right now as the Terran takes away a lot of what you can do. The damage dip from the DTs is increased because you can't reposition as quickly, for example. So it does, you know, have an impact for later as well. That's Combat Shield getting denied again by the DT, by the way. We just don't have the scan available. Very sad that we actually have a Raven out. It's just... Is it still stuck across the map? It is coming home. Mortal at the front nearly wandered into its death, but it did turn around in time to make its way into a bit more safety. It's going to be okay for the moment. See the SCV pull going to happen. So ByuN's been on 2 bases for a while. He's just going to send in no combat shield, notably. And that is a big deal in these scenarios because it's that sort of moment where it's like, okay, well, with combat shield, this army has a bunch more HP on it. There's still going to be this idea, though, of just packing a punch, and if there's not enough damage output from the Protoss, you can still get overwhelmed by this, right? Like, missing the HP of the combat shields, it's influential, but it's absolutely a scenario where sometimes it doesn't matter. In this case, we're just going to base trade. Well, you used to never base trade a Terran, and then it was never base trade a Protoss. This is a fun base trade because both of them arrive at the same time. The massive benefit for herO is going to be the fact that he has the third base. So ByuN has to split apart and hit multiple bases, which is just an extra location to get rid of. It's a guarantee of some probes getting away, for example. ByuN wants to target fire down those pylons, especially seeing that these are warp gates. You don't want to let warp-ins go out around the map, so make sure that this army stays the size that it already is. I mean, ByuN's army is not bad. It is 1-1, so it's got a full set of upgrade advantage, and it's only a little bit of army supply down. ByuN's lifting everything, apart from the barracks building combat shield, by the way. He's hoping that somehow, some way, this manages to finish, which would be really crazy if it did, but I mean, you may as well try, right? It does no harm in you know, leaving that one there for as long as you get the other things away, preserve what you can. I don't hate it. Combat shield denied again. I mean, ByuN might just never get this in the game. He actually did a great job, by the way, of hunting down the probes. I thought a bunch of the probes got out the left-hand side, but they actually got caught. So because a bunch of those probes got caught, we now don't really have any workers on the map. And ByuN obviously has workers on the map because, well, the genius about base trading with an SCV pool is you already have the SCVs to rebuild your base. Here doesn't even have that much money, although he has already started 2 Nexus. So he's kind of okay. But only 2 probes in the game. Love the Dark Shrine coming back up, because obviously getting more DTs out would be pretty huge. If you can add DTs back into play and force the scans out of your opponent when he doesn't have many, well, you can already see he has no orbital right now. So ByuN has a Raven, but if you kill that Raven, it's just another way to basically win the game, right? Kill the Raven, have a DT in this game generally trends toward being over. So we will see. Like I say, I like it from herO. Problem with the Dark Shrine right now is he is an eternity away from being on supply block. But as he loses some units, maybe that'll be impactful. ByuN should really reserve the Raven, because he also doesn't know if herO just already added in a DT. The only reason he doesn't think there is one right now is because herO hasn't shown it. But if herO hasn't shown it because he's saving it to wait for the Raven to be killed, it really does mean you want to be babysitting that Raven here. And if ByuN found that Dark Shrine, that would be nice. I think this is trending in ByuN's favor. I like his army. I like his upgrades. He's going to see the Dark Shrine, so he knows, again, Raven, very important. I just don't know what you do as herO. I don't think you can actually find a way through this at the moment. I think this is going to be a little bit stuck. Try catching them all or two at the back. The Prism can load up and get away, but like long-term, herO has to fight at some stage. No, this is not the fight. It's an anti-armor missile running across a bridge. ByuN still moving over to the right then for a couple more seconds. ByuN just going to come back across. Just going to be seeing this. Force field is definitely one way you can manipulate the game a little bit still in your favor. And ByuN is going to say GG, really. ByuN is going to say GG. I mean, obviously he's doing a good job with the force fields. I didn't know if it was like lose the Raven, but there's no DT. I don't think that's a GG. I don't think he leaves the game there. I just don't think you leave the game there. I think he just has enough to stay in. Do you think he was really just expecting the Dark Templar? I think his on, like, he's 1-1 against 0-0. I think he can stay in the game still. I think that's 100% a wait and see what happens moment, if nothing else. I think. Like, sometimes you GG and you're like, well, yeah, the Terran kind of knew, and maybe in like 30 seconds it looks a lot worse. But in 30 seconds, if ByuN disengages, like in 30 seconds, all that happens is that ByuN's army is like 10 army supply smaller, but he's got a full set of upgrades. I know he lost the Raven, but like I think you still just... He still hadn't seen a DT. Like, you saw a Dark Shrine proxy, but like he still hadn't seen a DT. You know? Keep getting wheeled out from the center. Isn't the Poros just pokes and run? Yeah, but then you try and flank, or you try and make another fight. Like, you still have an army to try to win the game with, right? Like, that's one of those things where it's like, but like, you miss a force field and the army also dies, you know? Like, you know, the pros still can make a mistake. It's not like the pros can just like AFK and the army will never lose. Yeah, I think he thought there was a DT coming, or already there, perhaps. You didn't see the DT because he lost the Raven? Oh, smart. 118 for the 118 pack. What is going to open the stream for the 30th anniversary? Yeah. One time old school fun. Can't open 118 packs, right? There's no shot. I could do a little opening. Could maybe do an ETB or something. 118 packs. That's good old D-Gen levels of Pokemon. Ay. When does it come out? Oh shit, September 16th? What if I gonna say I haven't paid for my pre-order yet, but I guess they don't need it yet still. Cool. Nice. Yeah, I'll we can do, you know what? The week after that's the WardiTV 10-year anniversary week, so we'll add the cheeky little Pokemon pack opener into the WardiTV celebrations. we'll have Pokemon night. Alright, next game up. It's tied up 1-1 here, as we have in the bottom right corner. The blue Terran player is ByuN. Again, thinking that we probably didn't need to leave that game when he did. As in the top left-hand side, the red Protoss player is herO. Now this series tied 1-1. In this best of 5 again. Best of 5 today, best of 5 finals. Second semi-final is going to be Classic versus SHIN. These guys are playing for $120 first place, $40 second, $20 to third and fourth, I believe. That's what's on the line. As we get to game 3 and see if ByuN will leave early again. Yeah, it was interesting. I think it is like it's one of those leave the game moments where it's like, I actually do think it's worth discussing, because sometimes people leave the game, people are like, whoa, that was early. It's like, well, I can really see that in 20 seconds he has no supply left, so sure. He was just getting out because he knew this fight was truly going to go bad, but I think this is really one where it's just like, you gotta see how the fight actually ends up going, you know? Engineering Bay is going to be blocking for a few moments. herO trying to figure out which base he's going to go move to take. A little bit of a dance with the SCV back and forth there. Finally makes a little bit more of a commitment. Let's see if he comes down to the right against Savicor. Coming up, we got ourselves a lot of little bits and bobs in place. The Stalker going to Chrono Boost off that gateway. The Warp Gate still coming up and online. And that Command Center coming up to being about halfway through as well at the moment. This Reaper back to the top left. Just on the move, trying to see what else is going on. WardiTV 10-year anniversary, yeah. WardiTV is 10 years old this September. Which is pretty crazy. I haven't really even stopped to think about it. I know I want to do like a little tournament through the week. But probably going to do some longer streams. Like we'll probably do like a... I imagine what we'll do is we'll do like a tournament at our usual tournament time. And we'll stream for like 2 to 3 hours after each day and do something fun afterwards. Like... maybe marbles we'll do on a day. We'll do a Pokemon night or something. We'll do maybe like viewer games or free-for-alls or something as well one day. Just gonna have like a little bit of a celebration week, you know? So, yeah, celebrate some 10 years of WardiTV. It's pretty crazy because last year it was 10 years to do StarCraft 2 full-time. But when I first went full-time in StarCraft, it was still branded as SC2 Improved, so... It's crazy that WardiTV's been a thing for 10 years. We're still cranking out as many games as ever. Well, trying to at least. Doing our best. Doing our best. Dark Shrine is on the way from herO early in this game, so he's going to get aggressive pretty darn fast this time around. Bring that Dark Shrine up. ByuN's opening with the concussive shells as well, so he's actually going to have... Concussive shells is really nice against, you know, units and being aggressive a little bit, but it's not great because what this means right now, he's not really getting anything that helps him with the Dark Temple. You know, he's not on a starport, so he can't go into a Raven quickly as a follow-up or something along those lines. You know, there's routes that would have been better for him here overall. This really means that the DTs have a good chance of just slowly kind of working their way through. And just forcing scan after scan and just slowly chipping away at that Terran economy. I'm gonna renew my vows for my 10th anniversary. I guess I'll have to. It's like I vow to never complain about the patch. You know, I need it because I've been complaining too much lately, you know? Every stream is just a complaint stream. Apart from yesterday, because I had no Twitch chat to send me off on the complaint pattern, so... yeah. 2 scans already used. That is going to be 2 DTs down, but a few SCVs, and the units can't really hold in the low ground yet. I mean, concussive shells should help against the Stalkers, but you need enough units to be able to step into that initially as well. Nora's Marines is coming down there, the Stalker's going to get hit, and DTs will step forward as well. Again, the DTs are just so annoying because you're forcing scans after scan. Remember, these Stalkers are not super amazing. They're not Blink Stalkers, right? And they are just normal Stalkers, so they're not super crazy, but obviously charge coming up is going to help. There's another DT that we have to scan. And there's another one that's going to walk in after the scan. Drop another scan, we delay the turret. I mean, you can just see how the frustration mounts up here from ByuN. He can't really do anything other than this. He just has to keep these DTs on hold for as long as possible, basically. He can't really do much else. As we finally get the missile turret up. We don't quite get that DT with the turret. That would have been nice to at least get like a DT kill off the turret at the end as well, but it doesn't quite happen. Next is coming down to that bottom left-hand corner. So herO just saying, hey, I've got full map control. I'm going to take full advantage of that and just take the gold base. So, truly believing that you can keep ByuN pinned back and contained in this game. And thinking that he can take a big advantage off the back of that as well, which obviously having a gold base as your third is pretty darn huge if you get away with it, which honestly, for now, I could kind of believe he will. Let's see, I mean, ByuN's moving out. He does have the bio upgrades in play, but we're a long way off Medivacs. We're a long way off the support that's really going to help this bio army. I don't even think I'd hit if ByuN just killed that pylon and just backs off, because the Zealots are something you can't really fight right now. The Zealots with charge especially, like he's Marauder heavy after the Stalkers, so he doesn't really have the damage output with Marauders to really get through Zealots, so they're just going to be super tanky. Makes this a very difficult little situation. Even herO just says, I can actually fight. SCV's pull, they don't quite save the bunker. But we get through the Zealots. I mean, the bunker did its job. It bought time. And you're not dying right now as ByuN, so for the moment at least, we're alive and kicking. That's gonna shoot. A couple of SCVs will start to go down. Depot gets killed. Minus 16 SCVs, the rest of this still all fighting. The SCV loss is just so monumental. You can't really get over that, especially where the herO has a gold base as well. There's just not really like a winning formula. Losing this amount of SCVs versus that much economy of herO. And herO is going to take this to a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Alright, herO, I'm going to move to a map away from advancing through the finals. Countdown coming on. I'm getting into this next game. ByuN and herO continuing through. And thanks for joining us, guys. Usually it's Kung Fu Cup today. I have no idea why there's not a Kung Fu Cup today. I don't know if they said something last week. I wasn't here last week, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, no Kung Fu Cup today, so upon hearing that, we're here to fix that. Alright, in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran. It's going to be ByuN. He's down a game. He needs to win this one to stay in it today. As he battles against herO, the red Protoss, in the upper right corner of the map. Playing on 2 patches now. Player's request. It's just a fun little filler tournament. It's basically, I mean, it's a tournament in the sense that it could almost just be some show matches. So it's just for some fun. The players would want to do it. Not gonna deny the players some fun if they fancy messing around a bit. It's just for some fun. So yeah, something a little different when we get to that PVZ. Still hopeful for a revert. I think a revert is completely out of the question. I think it's too late to revert things. Cries in the corner. I mean, there'll still be patches in the future, right? It's just, I just don't know if you can revert them. You know? Like, the time to revert was like after a month. You know, the longer you let the experiment sink in, the more painful it is to just go back. Because the worst part as well is if you just revert, you're also back to a patch where people kind of wanted to move from as well. Like, people were ready for a new patch. As like at the end of the day, people were just ready for a new patch. So it's like, you can't just revert. You also have to revert and then update that in a different direction, maybe. So why not just take a different direction from here? I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't the whole point of a PTR to test these patches? Yeah, but not enough people play the PTR. Well, I think the issue is not enough people tested the PTR because people played the PTR for a few days and realized it was not good. I mean, the other thing is as well is that there's like the PTR is like part of the process, and the PTR is more like bug testing. Because the reality is like the patch is pretty well determined, and they may change some numbers and stuff, but there's not enough resources available to like fully change up a patch or to extend it. There's like a timeline in place, and that timeline was, hey, we're going to put the PTR up, and in 2 to 3 weeks this patch will go live, right? Like, that's not enough time for like when the game didn't work out to be like, whoa, what are we going to do now? Like, yeah. Here's the thing. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's whatever. At this point, we just gotta see whatever the next patch brings us whenever we get one. The devs will patrol back and forth. Orbital command is going to float over to the natural. Well, he's just going to mine away. That blink coming up. A couple more stalkers coming through. Gateway in the robot facility continue to come about as well. It's just going to be seeing the tank and the Marines continue to produce on it over. Is it a big map fear of Toss of Terra now? I think it's a bit better for Terran because obviously in the past, big maps meant, pros could kind of negate that with aggression still because of the war pins. And obviously they can still do that, but at least it comes with attacks. Terrans also don't mind. Like, Terrans can also, like, expand on mass themselves a little bit more, so the pros having, like, tons of bases to get to isn't as much of an issue as it used to be as well. I don't know if either player prefers a big map. Obviously, sometimes Terrans still like those early pushes as well. But if the pros early pushes, it's going to be more difficult to kind of utilize the warp gates as gateways on a bigger map too, right? So I kind of got in roundabouts about this. I mean, because I was thinking about it, especially on like maps like Hudson Temple, where you have a choice of spawns. It's like, well, who's happier that they got the cross spawn instead of the close spawn? And like my brain tends to be like, yeah, pros should be happier about cross spawn because Terran aggression. But like I say, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Terran does not have to rely as much on aggression as they used to. Obviously, CC helps them to kind of be in a good state. I still think probably Terrans prefer the closer spawns because I guess overall you're still looking to hit times, you're still looking to disrupt the Protoss. Them having more time to be greedy is never really going to be good for you as the Terran. Next Marines all coming up. That's sim packet battle complete. Marine Marauder Medevac still very much so producing through here. A few stalks gonna blink down. TVP feels like you can't do anything on the map until the late game. Is it Terran? I still think Terrans have some early options and stuff. It just feels more... I mean, super late game Terran army is still extremely good, right? Like, nothing really changed there, so... I mean, Ghost got changed a bit, but I think overall you still like the late game a lot. I mean, some of the pro stuff got changed, like Disruptors got a bit better, they one-shot Ghost and stuff, right? So, there's some benefits there too. I mean, initially people thought this patch was really good for PvT, and then the 300 CC change came around, and this matchup got a little bit fixed up from it. Anyways, we actually have herO coming in for a bit of aggression, attacking forward. Gonna force the natural off, which is pretty great already. ByuN actually has a lot of army supply. A lot of it's across the map in a drop, though, so that's why he's going to be somewhat okay to pull up into the main base, because he also knows he's going to be doing tons of damage on the other side of the map. herO has nothing over here, and he's losing pylons, so he's losing production capabilities. A couple of Zealots will go down. Can we chase these Stalkers? It would be nice if we get rid of them, because then we stop getting kited, and these Marines can maybe go for a little extra on top of what they've already gained for themselves. herO, I was going to say, needs to be careful. That force field needs to help him out, and it does in the end, although he lets the Zealots run to the force field, which basically lets all the units behind the force field still be involved in the battle. And these Stalkers don't have the damage here. They needed to keep on moving, but herO's distracted looking on the other side. So he loses multiple of those Stalkers, and herO is losing out in general. ByuN is going to target by a few probes. Just maximizing what he's gotten here. herO is down to 20 workers only. And that is not a lot in this situation. At least he does have triple Nexus, so he does have 3 bases to potentially build back up from. That will be herO's one saving grace so far. SCVs are going to transfer back across once again as well. And a few mules already dropping down into position. So keep this moving. Because of shells, armor upgrade continue to come through. Just gonna see the DT getting ready for some SCVs. I mean, we gotta do something here as herO. DTs are usually a good way to bring it back, but ByuN army's moving across the map, and he is right to be moving, because he's gonna have a pretty huge opportunity here in the next few moments. Bio, Mines, Medivacs continue to push. A couple of depths coming over. Depth's just chilling around the bottom. Dropper's going to go back in the main base. He's going to start pulling herO apart. What little defense he has is going to be tested here. Down 50 army supply. It feels impossible. I mean, he has to start moving into the main base to deal with this, otherwise he's going to lose way too much. He's losing the pylons and the gateways once again. So Stalker moves and try and deal with that. Stalker's blink underneath. The Medivac's already being shot down. And then the army shows up on the third base. And there should be GG into a game 5 for our opening match of the day. Going to go the distance. It's always fun. There's just no way. I mean, you got Widowmines literally just walking up and burrowing on top of the force. It's a pretty good sign that things are a bit doomed for you as the Protoss player. GG's. We're going to distance. We're going to game 5. We're going to game 5. All right, 5th map coming up. herO ByuN in a couple of moments. This hosted up map is going to be Fear and Faith. Patch Roulette, let's go. Not in the PvT. It's only for PvZ. As you can see, PvT is balanced. Duh. Obviously. Obviously. Alright, guys. Jump into Fear and Faith. Let's get this on the go. Let's see what will happen here as we get the start off. In the top left-hand side is going to be our blue Terran player. And this is going to be ByuN. But all the way to this 5th game now, we are going to get actually closer spawns on the 4-player map. Not going to go cross spawn, going to go vertical as herO sits in the bottom left corner of Fear and Faith. Middle of the map for a gateway. This was nice on the 4-player map because your opponent can't scout super easily, right? So building a gateway in the center can apply some pressure that the Terran can't necessarily see coming super easily. Double gateway. Wow, a little bit more. I thought it was just going to be like a single gated pressure, but actually going to go double gated pressure. So big commitment from herO to put some damage in early. Try and get something done. Now ByuN has gone for the CC first. Now it is high ground. That helps. But it's not going to be doing you any favors at the same time. So herO's roll of the dice so far is looking pretty good. Probe up through the top side again. Command center coming about. The orbital coming through. Marine coming into place. Think about depth in the probe coming about as well. Just going to see those depths continue to chrono boost. Orbital is going to finish. Second barracks finishes as well, so we have at least got 2 barracks of production. And lack of wall does not feel great. 2 adepts showing up right now feels scary, but like I say, maybe 2 racks can keep us safe. Here we go. Adepts are going to jump. That probe nibbling is actually a big deal because then the marine is one-shottable. So we have to use SCVs here to play defense. herO is still only on 1 base. He is still only on 1 base, so ByuN can afford some damage. It's just a matter of how much damage can you take before this becomes too much. And do you ever actually get this unit count under control? Obviously, like I say, we're cranking out 2 marines at a time, perhaps, but now he's actually only got 1 on the way because he's missing the money to afford extra. So it doesn't look as though this is going well for ByuN at all. The adepts are very strong. There's 4 of them now as well, so they are just shredding whatever shows up. The factory finished, but ByuN isn't rich enough to build anything of note. And herO, as proxy, is going to get the job done and win out this match just like that. Build order win. And this, my friends, is why 4-player maps aren't fun. I mean, if 4-player maps encourage you to gamble and then people gamble and sometimes that results in something like this, right, is what it comes down to. And obviously there's the non-fun version of the gamble where it just goes completely one-sidedly. But that is going to be how it goes. Thank you, Rexto, by the way, mate. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the 18-month resub. And also, what's up, Mr. BDZ? For the 2-month resub, appreciate you. Thank you very much. And so we are going to get ready for Classic versus SHIN. So again, just to reiterate, guys, the players requested that we play an alternating patch. So we're going to start on 5.0.15, which is old patch. Then we're going to play new patch, old patch, new patch. Map 5, we're going to spin the wheel. So, yeah. We will do that. Sweet. I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be right back with you guys in just a second, baby. Hello, hello. More action on the way soon. Get back at this momentarily. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, player cams. How long until I actually remember to do the player cams every game? Every time without just forgetting. Crazy. How's everyone in chat doing? Let me know how we're feeling. Good to see you guys. Classics camera coming in as well. Cool. Alright, videos are just finished up. I'm gonna get this going in a second. Gonna start the map, or start the tournament on At Eternity's Edge. Apparently we're gonna start on a new patch, guys. So we're gonna start map 1, new patch, map 2, old patch. So I think it's the wrong way around on the explanation. So it'll be flipped. Just to let you guys know. Alright. Go, go, go. SHIN and Classic coming up for our second semi-final. Bum, 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 bum. We'll send it. Alrighty, in the bottom right hand corner of the map, I'm going to start things off with the blue Protoss player. This is going to be classic as we get into this. What is going to be a very interesting PvZ. So the rules are going to be that map 1 is played on the new patch, map 2 is played on the old patch, map 3 we go back to the new patch, map 4 we go back to the old patch, and map 5 we're going to flip a coin. This was on request of the players. So this was player's choice. It was just a little bit fun. I mean, this is just a fun little cup. Obviously, no Kung Fu Cup today, so this was like a last-minute replacement. Shout out to Inu, who really was the reason that this got put together. I literally did the easy part. I put the money in. He got the players together. He got them to agree to play. The players requested the rules. So just a fun little bit of StarCraft 2 to make up for the lack of a Kung Fu Cup today. If you guys are enjoying it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on the YouTube. Don't forget to follow on the Twitch. Support if you can. The support goes a long way to keeping the StarCraft churning on out. Only playing for small McDonald's fries? How much do you think fries are in Korea, bro? Oh, yeah. What's up, Prometheum? Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate you. I am indeed live. As are the players. So yeah, something a little bit fun. Like I say, a little small. I guess a tournament day. I didn't even know what this is going to be. I was thinking about maybe making an open cup. And he was like, I can get you 4 players. We could do like a little 4-player thing. I was like, it's cool. That sounds great. Very exciting. Why did the players request the rules of using the different patches? I presume maybe the Pros player suggested it, and Shin was just like, yeah, that sounds fun. I don't know, like, I mean, obviously Pros players don't love the new patch. They think it's very imbalanced. Shin's also been very outspoken against the patch as well. He's been one of the people who's been speaking up from the very start and has continued to speak up about it. So I think, I don't know, I think someone suggested and he was just down, like everyone was just down. Just sounded like fun. Like, I was not involved in this process. Like I say, this is called the WardiTV Pop-Up Cup. I literally just put some money to it. I did the least amount of work to everybody here today, so yeah, I really didn't do the hard part, so yeah. Things do grab a probe, and we're gonna see that Stargate coming up here from Classic at the moment, so bringing that straight into place. 70 cents for fries. Korea's pretty cheap for food, man. Korea's a cheap food place. It's like when you go to Korean barbecue anywhere else in the world, it's like this really expensive experience. But in Korea, it's Korea's like cheap, man. It's cheap as chips. It's crazy. Cheap as chips. That's a proper British saying, isn't it? Is that British saying? Feels like a British saying. A couple of devs will gather together. Couple of devs getting shade, couple of queens that continue to come around. You know, work on the wall gate coming up. We're just going to activate onto the overlord, put some damage out for a few moments. Again, just going to see those overlords still coming about. This warrior getting back into the center. Oh, the Void Ray, we have the Oracle. What is Classic going to do beyond this? Here's an extra gate. So it looks as though we are going to see a little bit of ground focus for at least a little while here. Again, Forge, the Fleet Beacon, continue coming back. You can see that Twilight Council coming through. Again, Lair and the drones will continue to produce, and just going to be having the feelings pulling back over here through to the upper left-hand side again. And Classic is just going to go throw the Fleet Beacon and the extra Stargate down. So he is just going to go the Stargate route. He is going to go for... Well, it's typically a lot of voids, although he's actually been waiting to build anything else, so maybe he actually goes for just straight up Tempest or Carriers here. Going to that kind of Sky Toss setup. And then a couple of Carriers still coming through. Our weapons coming up as well for a moment. Carrier still coming up. There's a couple carriers on the way in. So that's going to be the choice now. Mothership to accompany that. Another upgrades from SHIN as he also goes into the Hydrogen, so he gets that ready. We're just going to put some pressure on Oracle heads into the base for a couple of moments. This one is going to come back down to the bottom side. We got a couple carriers nearby as well. So we'll see what SHIN does in terms of the push timing. See how aggressive this would be. And another ship will build the air weapons coming up as well. Again, the Stargate's still coming up, the battery coming through, the cannons still producing. Gonna have again pulsar missiles and carapace all coming by, the Guru Spine's coming up as we speak. So it is. I mean, if you're gonna go Hydra's here as SHIN, you're pretty much definitely gonna hit some kind of Hydra timing. Question is, will that be strong enough against all these carriers that are going to be out from Classic already? On the bottom left, this Void Ray is going to activate, he's going to pick away at this hatch. Here's the push. I mean, Hydras don't have that speed yet, so they're going to struggle a little bit and get in reach, and there's a lot of carriers already here, so Classic already has a good amount of units to work with. A couple more carriers will continue to come through. Plus 2 air weapons on the way in, plus some missiles finishing shortly, plus 2 carapace coming up. Muscle augments will finish soon, so these Hydras will have an easier time engaging at least. And obviously the supply is massive here for SHIN at the moment, as you are going to see the Lings coming forward. The Interceptors start to get to work on these Hydras. The Hydras are kind of just melting. Honestly, like, they are disappearing, and there are a lot of Interceptors remaining as well. We've killed a few of the Interceptors, but nowhere near enough, I feel like. Obviously, you lose these Hydras, and the game kind of follows on from there, it would feel. I mean, obviously, there's a few more Hydras showing up, and right now, they actually are doing a better job of fighting these Interceptors. The stack defense on the ground has done a decent job against the Lings as well, but there's now just these cannons, and I think this 4th base of Classic might be in trouble. New carrier shows up. I just don't think the Interceptor count is there anymore. And there's the Mothership showing up as well. The Mothership's been out this entire time, no? It's just a little bit late to arrive. Drops cloaking. Now the Time Warp is nice as well, but we actually do need to, again, just see some more Interceptors here, really. Still just backing up, carriers still under some fire. And a couple shots going back over. I'm just trying to get underneath again. I mean, SHIN's still sending this. The supply of Classic is still at 120, which is kind of where it started. SHIN's supply is much lower than where it began. The only thing I will say is obviously that SHIN has killed a lot of Interceptors, but if he gets pushed back and the Interceptor can't rebuild, then I think it's going to be very poor for him. Classic's also about to hit plus 2 air weapons, which is usually a pretty good big moment for the Protoss in the PVZ. Interceptors will fire into the gold base, which is nice as well. To 9 SHIN, the gold would be great, although he's got to respect the Hydra's back on his right side. But again, look at the carriers go. They are shredding each and every Hydra right now. Committing through again, a couple more Hydras going down. The damage just keeps adding up. We just have to just fire again a few cannons. We'll continue to shoot, just gonna have the Lings coming back over. Carriers will still sit there, those few Hydras pulling back along once again. Away they go. This obviously looks very good for Classic now. Hey, Classic's about winning the new patch, guys. Just the day he was waiting for. The day they're going to play some old patch 2, then he's like, I can win on all the patches. Puts the glasses on. Cool dude moment. Corruptors gather back together. I mean, Corruptor's obviously going to be a much better answer to these carriers, but has it just gone too far? Like, have we just lost too much in this process up until now? Double resources lost. SHIN has been pretty rich through this. Obviously, at one point he had a gold. That no longer exists. A few more carriers about to be popping. I like the Temple Archive as well, especially as the Corruptors are coming through too. Let's see, the Corruptors are going to step forward again, and they would love to get some pickoffs. Yeah, I would love that. At least Classic's forcing you to fly into a bunch of cannons to get some of these attacks off. He's just getting as much value out of that static defense as he possibly can here currently. Holding out, keeping these bases alive. Corruptor count is still very sizable, mind you. Hydra's lanes still pushing up, just going to be using the cannons. Try to fight back the other way. Corruptors will go after the Stargate and going to finish that off. That storm still coming by as well. Like, again, Storm was obviously huge. I do think Classic's gone through the harder part of this game. Usually surviving to this stage is the part that Zerg is very good at making difficult for the Protoss, so maybe Classic really is with a shot of this as well. Up to cloaking, return into the Lings. I just get pushed back, couple voids step forward as well. Just still trying to do a little bit extra here. Those couple voids are still taking some big shots. Couple more Stargates coming through. The gateways are coming up. Both those hatcheries and the hive coming online also again. There's Corruptors, there's drones, all coming into place. I mean, now that we're maxed out, Classic's just gonna sit back here, but SHIN's also recognizing that Classic's in a much better position than he was. He's going to establish a lot of the air control of not air control, but a lot of the spellcaster control himself that he was missing in previous fights. He's going to get Infestors up. He's researching herO. We are going to see the Hive as well, so the potential of going to Vipers beyond this is also going to be a pretty big positive here. How come Classic isn't prioritizing +3 air attack? I don't know. I thought he would have kept going into it. I wonder if it's just not as impactful. And obviously wanted to make sure he survived. He might have just forgotten to start as well. And let's defend very comfortably. Just gonna push those few Lings away. A couple more Void Rays still coming out. And go back over to the right side for a few moments. I think he's actually going to start knocking on the rocks, opening up some space in the center already. And +3 air weapons coming through, the attacker grade building on the forge as well. his way through, throw some shots forward, get a bit more done. Obviously, starting to push forward towards some bases if we can would be nice as Classic. Try and put some pressure on. I mean, he's moved right into the middle of the map. Changelings just get cannoned down. He's going to see the Zergling's going to try and step forward. Not going to see much success. The Interceptors able to again go pushing things back the other way for a little while. That's another Nexus on that right side. Going to get set up as well. Just going to bring that into place. Obviously, waiting for the big fight to happen, waiting to see what we can do here on the side of SHIN with those spellcasters. It's going to be a big sign as we try and step forward with the high tempo, looking for some feedbacks, getting some success from those feedbacks as well. Very nice. It's going to attack in, that Ultra gets caught and killed. And pick our way through some stack defense as well, although Classic not going to push his luck too far. Going to take a moment to step back now and recalibrate. And again, he's holding a good base count. He's got good stack defense across on the left side map of the map as well. Is SHIN going by Ragnarok again? He is. I don't know if this is just again a team league thing or what, but he is currently Ragnarok on the green server. Just to keep us all confused, you know. Storm comes down. You can see the Infestor's going to drop a couple of Fungals down as well. We're going to see those Corruptors going to start flying through. Storm is all over the place. Obviously, the Archons on the ground have a lot of work to do too if they could help against the Corruptors, but they're getting eaten up by the Ultras. However, the entire Zerg army is getting eaten up by the fact that it's just a massive Protoss force. The rebuild from SHIN starts going to be Ultras and 17 Corruptors. I actually don't think 17 Corruptors is enough. I don't think that's going to be a significant difference in how this is going as we just walk forward here as Classic with more than enough to get this done, looking for the map 1 victory in this best of 5. May as well get a wrap around. A few Zels getting caught, the Voids and the carriers coming over. At this point, I just don't think SHIN can... I mean, SHIN's going to get maxed out. I guess let's see what he can do with this next fight. But I feel like the previous one is really good. Okay. I like the recoil a lot, actually, because you just get home and you get to reset properly, which is huge. Goes on the counter-attack. We'll put some pressure in. The Ultras on the ground are being very annoying right now. Classic getting pushed back. Does he not have the support he needs? Stack defense going to try and help him out here. There's an Archon that just showed up on the right side. I mean, he needs anything he can get in this fight as the carriers are falling, and his SHIN's rebuild actually is going to do it. It's actually going to do it. Wow. Not enough anti-corruptor in the end here, right? No High Templar left. No Archons. And SHIN just rebuilds and kills him. Just not enough of the extra stuff, basically. When he recalled on the other side of the map, he did lose some of the High Templar. Even those might have made a difference here. Just having a couple of storms, you know, a few more storms available could have just worked wonders against those Corruptors as well. Crazy. Crazy. SHIN, gonna go up 1-0. Part of me is like, I'm glad SkyToss doesn't work. The other part of me is like, I feel like that's one of the times SkyToss should have worked. I think Classic just recalls a bit sooner from across the map. And I think if he just recalls like a little bit sooner, he actually would have just been pretty okay. I don't know. That's a weird game. I think he just lost like all the high tempo when recalling. And he just didn't have an army to properly fight with at that point. Alright. Map 2, guys, is going to be played on the previous patch. This is what they agreed to. So we're going to go old patch for game number 2. Alright, we are kicking this off, my friends. Getting this ready to go. I'd like to say thank you for joining us today so far. Let's just hang out with some games that replaces what would have been a Kung Fu Cup. Just no Kung Fu Cup today for whatever reason. Still checking something, guys. We are good. Alright. Let's dive in and see what old patch PvZ looked like as Classic will be opening here as the Blue Protoss. In the top right, he'll be down a game following the ending of that last one going in SHIN's favor. SHIN being also Ragnarok being in the bottom left side of the map. This game too. Alright, well, let's 12 workers and get to go nice and quick into this. As I'll see probe to the low ground, gonna get ready to plop the Nexus down here. Oh my god, the 124 Nexus. Crazy business. Yeah, I think looking in the back last game, I'm still just trying to think about it a bit for Classic, but I honestly think it was fine. He just needed to have more on the ground after the recall. If he just went home sooner, that would have helped a lot. Yeah, just go home a little bit sooner and reset a little bit, I think would have been fine. Side core, next is all coming up. A couple queens and lings on the way over. I'll just see this overload obviously spotting to see what's going on. Now, what pros can do on this patch compared to the current patch is that they can definitely put a lot more pressure on the game. It's obviously Stargate, Oracle Adept opening, and from there you're going to be able to apply pressure with Stalkers and so on, and that can do a lot for you. So we'll see if that's something the Classic games towards, see what the plan will be. Push back a few moments. Just gonna see the Lings be coming up, the Queen on the way. And obviously you have the Adept already poking. We are going to see the first Oracle popping in a very few short moments as well, so bringing that out, getting that on the go, and getting ready to bring this across as well as the Stalk continues to wander. Just checking nearby. The Adept again will be poking on the other side, but it's interesting that this is a single Adept into the Stalkers. So the Stalker's going to be there to kill the Overlord, But obviously that comes at the cost of not having Adept number 2 to really kind of power up the harassment in the early stages. Is Robo still not meta versus Zerg with Colossus buffs? Robo is... I mean, Colossus buffs did nothing. Because Colossus are still the same against the majority of stuff, and they're just a bit better against Roaches, but they suck versus Roaches anyway, so... The problem with Colossus is you just can't... The problem with the Colossus is you just get swarmed. Like, you just can't kill things fast enough. And the moment the Zerg attacks from 2 directions, you definitely don't kill things fast enough. So yeah, Colossus buff didn't really change anything for PvZ. I mean, a lot of the issue also just stems from where PvZ is at on the new economy and stuff as well, where you just can't really apply pressure, and so whatever you do, there's just going to be a lot of Zerg. And the thing with Colossus is that it's very hard to apply pressure with a Colossus build. Like, your best chance is like a Colossus drop build or so. But if you're not applying pressure, the Zerg just runs away with the game as well, and so then you get swarmed even harder with something that's unfortunately not that great at actually dealing with being swarmed, you know? You can get Robo-Base, I can get Hive. Yeah, I guess that too, right? Where it's like, there's just like, not only are they maybe not good enough straight away, but they also just at some point very quickly get hard counted by the Vipers as well. Like, then you basically need Temple Attack just to protect the Colossus. And so it's like, well, why didn't I just go Storm in the first place, right? Like, you know, if that was my better splash option as well, then it also helps cover me against, you know, the things they are going to build tech-wise later in the game too, so... Colossi at home are fine. Yeah, exactly. Like, Colossi at home are actually pretty good. Like, Colossi behind some defense and so, give them time to attack, and they will clean things up. You just don't get given enough time to attack with the Colossus in a real game scenario, because you can't just sit at home and do nothing, right? Now, if I start playing some ladder, I absolutely could just sit home and bait Colossus and let the Zerg attack into me and win. But at the pro level, you just can't sit back like that, unfortunately. It just doesn't... That sort of gameplay doesn't fly in PvZ. Zerg benefits way too much from the freedom to do what they want. Interesting attack. Great micro from Classic. 4 queens go down. Pretty impressive not to lose anything from Classic side as well. I mean, one Adept died in the game, but actually really sick on the Oracles. Just really cool control, and Classic gets a bunch of damage early. As we are going to see that Storm coming online, charging the +1 coming up. So noteworthy here is that obviously Storm is one of those things which did get nerfed a little bit as well, right? They reduced the overall damage of Storm by a teeny bit. And I believe the importance of that for PvZ is that the amount of ticks in which Zerglings and Banelings die when rolling through or running through a storm is now higher, right? And so what used to be, you know, what used to be good storm coverage before, because it would kill a bunch of stuff before it got there, is no longer good enough. And that's why you can't really rely on storm only as an opening on the Protoss point of view. The camera of the players would be better on the far right rather than on the left. I don't think I've ever seen the camera on the far right in StarCraft. I'm trying to think. I think if you put them on the right side, there's an issue with when upgrades pop up finishing, it gets in the way. Okay, put them on the right. I mean, it's not a right or a wrong thing. I feel like something pops up in this space over here, but I guess it's a bit higher up, so maybe it's fine. Maybe if multiple upgrades come through at once, it's an issue. Not sure. I think the traditional place to put them is where I have. But I don't disagree. I don't actually think this mini-map or this UI layout works too well for it. I see SHIN playing the mutas, by the way. Not bad against a Protoss player who's obviously bygone Blink and so, but we already have Storm. That's going to help a little if you really need it. We actually have double Stargate up and have multiple Phoenix building in preparation against these mutas, so it's looking pretty good for Classic almost right away here. Phoenix is going to destroy this. This meter attempt does absolutely nothing. Classic immediately on top of it, man. Absolute domination from Classic in this game. He's been on top of everything. Solid harass at the same time, hitting his hatchery SHIN. struggling to keep it alive, and he just keeps that alive at 2 HP, I believe. I think it already regened 1 HP, so damn, just about lives. Shin's gonna defend this with his life. And at the same time, like, it just feels like it's so unnecessary for Classic to try and deny that base right now. It's nice to get rid of, but it just isn't needed, you know? And he's gonna hit. I'm gonna see a couple of these gateways taking a bit more damage as well. Seeing those getting picked away at, Hydra's gonna put some damage onto the mothership. Mothership getting turned back around, and we're actually gonna have the mothership getting forced to recall home. So an attempt to be aggressive with the mothership does not go right for Classic here. Good defense from the SHIN. Getting, you know, the army recalled in and having to recall away from it. It's pretty nasty. Uh-oh, Classic! He had no idea that this was happening. Now he finally responds, drops a couple storms a bit late, but still at least gets them down. I was terrified he was going to lose all the high tempo before he started paying attention to the army. Pretty disastrous moment for Classic. He needs to have a bit more splash available as well, because what SHIN has already is actually still quite scary, so he needs to respect this and have the right things against it. I mean, a couple more storms brought back into play. Archon count is very good at least, so that is something. Archon's High Templars gathering. The Phoenix is going to go hunt for some Overlords, why not? Anything you can find as a freebie is generally worth taking. You always accept freebies, guys. You eventually need a Spire to deal with this. You don't really want to make Spire against the Mothership alone, I think, is the problem. I was going to say, did we deal with enough of these Banelings here? It felt like we did. Some Storms still available. We drop them down. Time Warp helps a lot there. Keeps the Baneling within the Storm. Make sure they goes down. The Ling's trying to run by, but they're just not going to get anywhere either. Good defense from Classic still. Hanging on it in there. Less supply, but good army carrying him through for the moment. Okay, he is going to make some Corruptors. Mothership provides a lot of value, but obviously having to make these Corruptors feels so pricey as well. And to me, that's the issue. Making the Corruptors to deal with the Mothership only. And yeah, okay, maybe the Corruptors after can run around, but is this actually enough Corruptors to do that as well? 7 Corruptors? Like, yeah, I guess it is. At the same time, like, do 7 Corruptors really kill a Mothership? If he builds any more, then it feels like an overcommitment as well, no? Storm comes down, Corruptor's gonna get hit. Go back the other way, a couple of Archons still striking, the Corruptor's still coming through. Mothership will go down, but it costs you like every Corruptor. I don't love that. Classic being kept on the back foot. And SHIN runs in on the other side. The base will just never die apparently as Classic. He's actually gonna lose his own third. He's committing across the map. His army's strong, but I don't know if it's strong enough to just send it right now, especially as Hydra spawn. They're going to do a lot of work. Decent storms. The Lings are going to be terrible for Classic though. I just don't think you can deal with it. The Archon should be good against Lings, and they are. It's just the Lings are in extremely good numbers. The Classic supply is plummeting, and SHIN is looking to get to a 2-0 lead. Wow, this felt like such a good game for Classic for so long, and then just some of these fights right toward the end were just not good enough. Played a very good game, though. Adrenal glands, plus 3 missiles, plus 2 carapace coming up as well. The Ultra Cavern. Additional Zerglings coming about. Link side is going to push over to the right side. A couple of Zelds going to get chased away. Microbial Shroud coming up. Adrenal glands coming through. herO plus 3 missiles coming up as well. This hatchery just refuses to die. It's the most resilient hatch of all time. Seriously, what the hell? This hatchery is an absolute machine that turns Protoss units into sacrifice, basically. Like it. That's crazy. Classic mid to late game's kind of sloppy. I mean, Classic's not had to play with its Arden comp for a while, right, guys? When do you think the last time Classic casted a Storm in PvZ was? Well, obviously in the previous game, sure, but like with like a ground composition, with only like a supporting mothership in the sky. I mean, yeah, it's probably right that the longer this game goes, the sloppy they're going to be with these kind of army compositions and so on. Does not feel good for Classic losing the old patch game though. This was meant to be where he was strong, where it was meant to be very hard for SHIN to beat him, but this is not happening. Pros even have a chance to win. And they don't in this game. But I will just reiterate from everyone balance line right now, this is the old patch. This was an old patch game. They are playing old patch in maps 2 and 4, new patch in maps 1 and 3. So for everyone that's complaining that it's unbeatable, that was old patch. So sit. Yeah, the haters are. Classic played a great game. I actually feel like up until a point, and just yeah. I think someone said it was a bit sloppy toward the end. I don't really disagree. He took a couple of bad fights, worse fights, and you can't really afford for that. SHIN also just playing well. Is a fair statement too, I think. Crazy plot twist. Dun dun dun. Yeah, you can tell it's all patched because Classic doesn't have a massive sky toss as the only composition. So, yeah. The mentality's already broken. Alrighty, guys. Class win and then win in position both games for 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, he was winning the game. I think he was winning that game 1 too. I don't disagree. Game 1 as well. I don't disagree. And Classic's been in some good spots today for sure. I do have to agree with that. Sorry, I just reading a banger of a YouTube comment. It's got a notification pop up on yesterday's YouTube stream, and the TLDR was like, I mean, you always know it's going to be good where it's like, where they open with, while it seems laughable that I could give advice to someone like Clem, you can imagine the rest. This is some self-awareness then. He's basically ranting that Clem shouldn't be building Reapers against Zergs because they don't do enough and it's wasting time, and he just wants to show off his micro. It's like, bro, you're missing the point there. If the Terran doesn't play Reaper against Zerg, they don't get to scout what's going on. Like, Clem's not building the Reaper to show off his micro. He's showing off his micro because that's all he can do with the unit that is very useful for knowing what's going on. Yeah. It's not like we even see games without Reapers in TVZ as well. Crazy. Alright guys, so again, just a reminder, this is back on the new patch. This is the current patch that we're playing. They are alternating from game to game. Scan is free. True. Scan is free. The best thing about scanning is that you get the energy back anyway, so... The also good thing about scanning is you're actually saving money, right? Because instead of mining out all your valuable resources in your bases, you can preserve those bases for later in the game. So that when it comes to a mined out situation, you have more resources left than the opponent. Isn't it better for the loser to pick a patch? Maybe? Honestly, it's not that deep. We're just doing something a bit fun. They just alternate. They wanted to alternate, we're just gonna let them alternate. We have to apply some pressure early. At least we get PvZ finally. Poggers. Well, patch alternating. Today's just meant to be a chill little fun day of extra games, guys. Like I say, this is just a bit of a throw together to give us some extra games where we weren't going to have anything because Kung Fu Cup was cancelled. Oh, we're coming across, trying to see what's going on. I'm just gonna be there. I'll push the other way. Let's back toward the upper left-hand side, so again, moving straight across there. Take a couple moments. Any more depths, the probes, the oracle, all of that continue to come around. That nexus coming over. I'm going to bring this up at the moment. Again, Forge and Twilight Council both building, a couple of adepts are coming around. herO base upgrade coming up as we speak, so again, continue to bring that into place. -4 drones in this game. These oracles have been putting in some work, man. They've been able to get some work done. Not bad at all. Using supply drops even creates value. You know what we should add to the command center? Oh, okay, you know what? We could add it to the Planetary Fortress, because the Orbital Command already has a lot of useful spells. We should add an ability to the Planetary Fortress, which is just call down Mineral Patch, right? It's like, do you not want to move out? Because, you know, you've got a good 4 base set up, and you just don't want to move out to a 5th base and get attacked by the nasty Zerg and Protoss. Just call down another Mineral Patch, mine for longer off the bases you already have. I love that. See, this is why I'm never allowed to balance my own version of the game. It would be so stupid. Classic still going with those oracles, trying to find as much as possible with them. Doing the best he can for the moment. Storm charge and +1 all still coming through. Again, that fleet beacon coming up as well. He's going to get into the storm. He is trying to play this ground army, so we'll see how that fares against SHIN. If SHIN can find the aggression to punish that or not, that's the question we're basically asking. 4 and answer 2. Storm +1 coming about. Those oracles and the Zelda's just going to get over there. Push those lings away for a few moments already. Just going to activate, just going to be again straight in for those lings. Again, battery is going to go down, going to put another cannon into place in a moment or two. Nice storm on the top side, hitting a bunch of those lings. The lings turn back in, they continue to be stormed to death. Let's make a move. Next is going to be in some trouble. It's going to be having the lings on the left side there, going to put their way through. Get after a couple of those zealots as well. Continue to work on that for a little while longer, and again, +2 melee and carapace both coming up. $11 meters on the way from SHIN, so he's going to have the mutilus count growing here. Put some pressure on with those mutas. Get that flock up in the skies. The mutas. I mean, we got the mothership though. Mothership will help. We got some Phoenix on the way. SHIN's already going into the Ling Hydra follow-up behind this, so getting those Hydras out. And he is going to escape up that right-hand side. Again, +2 melee, +2 carapace. Continue to produce at the moment. See, Classic just happy to sit back here and let those couple carriers come online. Starting to build into that Sky Army. Has the Phoenix that should help be able to deal with the mutas. It's good that he's not overbuilding into Phoenix, instead going into the carriers and giving himself a chance to get some more important units up to deal with what is going to be the follow-up of SHIN, which is coming now. Actually might lose a bunch of these zealots here out on the map. Good contaminate across the map as well, by the way. You just saw it on screen 10 seconds ago or so. Contaminated one of the carriers, so it's going to slow down that production, which obviously helps to give SHIN a much more potent attack timing here, where Classic maybe isn't quite set up to deal with this. Okay, and Hydra will continue through. I haven't seen much of the mutas. I kind of like how Classic approached it as well. He basically said, you know what? I'm essentially, what he's essentially done is he's, set up into the few Phoenix against the mutas, but then use that as a transitionary point to kind of be like, okay, cool, now I can use that to then go into carriers with, and I'm gonna see now these mutas are just gonna go for what they can. I imagine Shin wants maybe some of the supply freed up to build other things, because right now they're just eating a supply that isn't doing much else. Barobas and Kara still coming up. That's going to shoot. Double intercept is going to fire through. SHIN was going to be more aggressive with the Hydra Bane build, but then I wonder if he just saw the carriers and he was like, you kind of have what you need right now, so just going to let this go a bit later instead. Try and attack in. There's a lot of cannons here. Just going to choke up this up, and plain and simply, these Lings are just not going to see that much success at all, trying to push on through already. StarCraft will try and keep the army safe in a safe haven for a few moments until Seba's going to return back to the carriers. Classic's actually going to win himself a base in the top right, knocking that down for Shin. Take a little bit of his eco out the game. Trying to get this base bottom left at the same time as well, is just trying to handle this current point. Really nice to get rid of the bases, right? Stop Shin from completely getting out of control. Shin's setup feels good. He has a bunch of infestors, he has the ultras, the Ling Bane as support. Now, what is he missing? Yeah, maybe a way to truly fight those carriers. Infestors do not have Neural Parasite. Noteworthy, because that could have been perhaps a game changer if you take over some anti-air and splash through those carriers during that time. Shin's going to come a bit of push forward already. I'm going to say Classics upgrades. +2 air weapons, +1 shields just starting. You can have a couple of mortals starting up from Classic as well. It's just trying to make sure he's got the numbers he needs against those ultras to deal with that pretty quickly. Couple probes going down. Nothing too major. Diving up. Hydra's going to boost back to the side. Ultra's going to reposition. We are going to see a few hit tempo continue to warp in. And Neural Parasite will be done soon. A couple of ultras are still building. +3 missiles, the +2 flyer attack coming up as well. He's going to wrap around, kind of taking some shots. Again, Archons up carriers. Still on the move. The Lings come back over into that mineral line. Army heads back to the top side, pushing for a few moments. Aiming for this hatchery. A couple of spores and spines, taking a few more shots again. Is about to go down, so we're going to be seeing that falling soon. These cannons into fire. We're going to recall it back down at this location. The Ultras are going to respect the recall and step away from that position. Ultra, Hydra, Bane still poking. Yeah, plus 2 air weapons finishing soon. Just gonna see the couple Archons coming about. The Immortal also coming over. Ultraling Bane, plus 3 missiles again. Everything on the way. Waiting for the next big fight to show us maybe exactly how these trades are gonna go. Storm's coming down. You're going to see the Ultra chomping at the Immortal. On coming up, just going to be seeing his hatchery falling as well. Oh my goodness, this Ultra's still alive! That's not a good sign for those probes. Probes, turn and fight! You can kill him! I believe in you guys. Oh, that's not pretty. Oh, that's a very preemptive cloaking from Classic. Trying to walk up into position here. A couple of storms to lather up this area. Couple of shots come down. We're just going to push on through. The interceptors are flying straight forward. Classic supply is the one that's dropping. We have killed a lot though of Shins. It's just Shin's rebuilding quickly. 27 Corruptors, 4 Ultras on the way. Classic needs to figure out his timing to leave here. He needs to not stick around for a bit too long like he did in the previous game and just make sure he gets away and attacks when he's strong again rather than just potentially giving his opponent opportunity to take advantage. Like I say, there's 31 Corruptors coming out, and if you don't have a good way to deal with those, that can be a problem. So army supplies are very similar. Shin is completely out of a bank account though, by the way, so he's got no money stacked up behind what he's rebuilt with. Because your Corruptors getting caught. Classic is sticking around. Shin brought the rest of his army home, although now would have to go up a pretty narrow ramp. We're going to pop the cloaking, in we go. Mothership falls pretty quickly. The Corruptors should kind of just shred a lot of the air units. It's just, what are we going to do about all the Zealots on the ground? Well, so far we had a Fungal and some Hydras combining to pretty decent effect to clean up some of those Zealots, but we ran out of spellcasters, we ran out of ground units. So I think Shin is, just not quite going to have enough to punch through. And obviously now he's got all these Corruptors, 18 of them that are just dead weight in the army. You got no money banked up. And it looks as though Classic is going to punch his way through to a game win here in map 3 of this series. Shin's going to try and do something with the Corruptors across the map, but it's so unrealistic. He's going to try and cause spray down cannons. I mean, when the Stalker Warping comes in, more than enough from Classic here to play cleanup. And he is going to see himself winning the map in this series. The Classic is going to get one off of Shin. Shin is trying to rebuild a spawning pool. He's like, I'm not meant to lose in this patch. What's going on? Quick. GG's. Classic is going to get it. Shin deciding to tap out there at the end, which I think everyone agrees with. I don't think there's anything we're sticking around for in that one. And Classic will get us through to game 4. Going to go back to old patch for a 4th map. As Classic gets it done. Oof. Alrighty, guys. Get you guys into position. I'm drinking so much today. I'm gonna go get another drink, guys. I'm just gonna go join this lobby. I'll be right back with you. Hello, hello. Welcome back. How are we doing? Before we're back to the old patch. Again, we're alternating today. Map to map for PvZ was agreed on by the players. On top right, again, a game win is going to be classic. Keeping this series alive. As he takes on SHIN. Red Zerg in the bottom left. Alright, guys. Is map 5 patch a coin flip? Yes. Think so. Think it is. I mean, it's either that or you just let chat vote on it. Chat, which player do you like more, SHIN or Classic? So we get to map 5. I mean, Classic was in a good position in game 2, but he lost it still, so we'll see. Which patch does this? This is old patch. This is before they changed anything. We're alternating game to game. Players requested it. Seemed fun for a pretty chilled out event that we had going on today, so here we are. Did Ragnarok change his name to SHIN and then back to Ragnarok? He keeps alternating it. I'm pretty sure he still wants to be known by SHIN. I think he keeps changing back to Ragnarok for team leagues for some reason. Yeah, I don't really know. What happened with the Kung Fu Cup today? Yeah, I don't know. There's just no Kung Fu Cup today. I think this was planned, but I have no idea why. I have no idea why. This was news to me. I found out like 7:30 in the morning, so naturally we had to try and rectify the lack of StarCraft today. Just about managed it. Couple drones just mining it up. Lie on the way through, bring that over. Oracle is about to finish. Got a couple Oracles trying to come around. Gotta turn back the other direction. Triple Oracle into the main class, trying to apply some pressure. Again, Forge, Twilight Council, all that coming through. Just gonna see the things gonna wrap around on a couple of those adepts, so getting a bit of a catch here already. And the Oracle's through the main base, just about gonna escape out of there for a few moments as well. Trying to stasis, but defense is good. Classic is just about keeping these Oracles alive, by the way. A couple of them have been actually very low, so fortunate to keep a couple alive so far. I think he's actually going to break through on the other side. They break through the first Adept in the Classic, then the other Adepts get surrounded. Fourth Oracle in the game is actually going to be a big part of the reason why he's able to defend against that, so a little awkward, a little weird. What if PVZ plays on 5.0.15? Yeah, I mean, no serious tournament can do this. I mean, like I say, this is just because today is a pretty fun tournament. It's pretty, like I say, it's just a bit of a filler event, but realistically, you just need to update the game or rebalance PVZ or something. Just hope we hear something soon is all. Ragnarok's cooler than SHIN. SHIN's his actual name. Yeah, SHIN is his actual name. SHIN ByuN, I believe. He wanted to change away from Ragnarok a long time ago, and some people told him it wasn't worth it, or he shouldn't, so he's tried not to, and then eventually changed it to SHIN. Obviously, he stuck with. Well, I say he stuck with it, but now he's called Ragnarok again today. So, like I say, sometimes he plays on a Ragnarok account. I don't know what the logic or the reason is why he does it when. Maybe it's just not that deep, guys. We're analyzing it so heavily. Maybe it just ain't that deep. There's a double entendre because SHIN means God in Korean as well. I actually find it more relatable to think about the hidden meaning of it meaning the front of your leg bone, you know? I always thought this was, you know, really meaningful. It's like, I'm gonna present my leg to you. And like, it's a sign of disrespect, you know? Just goes up to people and like, SHIN! Raises his leg. 90% of StarCraft players forfeit on the spot. The Dropper Lords are going to try and get around that right-hand side. Ling Hydra. Continue to come up. Will activate. Couple Hydra's going to get caught already. It's nice to get some kills out in the middle of the map, so we get some damage done. The Oracles peel over to the sides. This is a couple of the Oracles now. This is all to get caught as well. What do we got in position for the Dropper Lords? Well, the Mothership pops out. Holy crap. Talk about timing. That was defense in the end. We do have to counter the forward base, though. The Ling Hydra here is going to overwhelm a little bit. Classic supply is super far down. And the problem is you're playing Storm defense, but you're being pulled around all over the place. That's when Storm is going to feel like it's at its weakest. Because you're just here, there, and everywhere, and then the Storm can't really consolidate like one single location. And Classic's front door is being knocked upon. I think Classic's in some serious trouble, guys. I do not think he's looking good here. A couple of high templates he has remaining are up in the main base currently. So the front natural wall is just going to fall, and then SHIN reinforced with more Ling Hydra. He's already killed a bunch of probes, and they continue to drop. Maybe the new patch is better for Protoss, guys. I don't know. Classic, can this Classic win a map on the new patch? There we go. SHIN gets it done. Wow, Classic. I love how quickly Classic just F10 ends. He's just like camera off instantly as well. Yeah. I do think he probably feels as though it's... I wouldn't be surprised if Classic was a bit out of practice as well, to be fair, as well. You gotta think Classic has been pretty vocal. I mean, maybe not vocal, but the moment that Classic has lost any tournament in the last few weeks, he immediately logs out and logs into Brood War. So, yeah. It's actually kind of depressing. My friends list has more people online in Brood War than it has in SC2. It's a bit sad. Good for Brood War. Right now playing Brood War, Creator, Sue, Trap. Who's this barcode? I'm not sure who this barcode is. 7 years ago, that last 1v1. Against another barcode that doesn't tell me anything. Not sure who this is. hero's laughing. He's saying, I clearly have no hope in this patch. Old or new. Let me translate. This is clearly not Dutch. SHIN saying it's my turn to be slaughtered. So I think the general thing is that SHIN's saying that he thinks he's playing better on the old patch because he has the confidence from the new patch. Crazy. Our finals alternate patches, yep. It's PVZ. PVZ in this tournament today alternates patches. Alright, let me just add hero's camera in. This isn't a super serious tournament. They should play on patches mod. But not everyone knows what the patches mod is or does and stuff, you know? Like, playing patches mod is all well and good, but like, if you don't know what half the units do or what half the changes are, then it's not very fun, you know? ByuN should know about it. And you say that, but then when I actually watch them play on patches mod, all anyone does in chat is complain that they don't actually play to the mod and they just play normal. They just play normally and accidentally use new stuff sometimes. You know? Send new positivity today. Thank you. Send new positivity back. This is what every stream of Zero Space. Zero clue of any views about the game. Yeah, but in Zero Space, like, that is the current game, right? So, like, as we watch and we all learn together, right? Like, we're still in the learning process. Like I said, I mean, I like patches mod. I think it's fun. I also just, there's also a ton of patches tournaments, so you just don't really need me to run more patches tournaments, you know? There's a patches tournament in 2.5 hours. I think there's a lot of patches stuff right now. Not everything has to be patches, you know? I know it's the hot new thing, but, you know, I think it's fine that not everything is the hot new thing, you know? I don't want to stream the patches mod tournament a single time. I don't have the money to invest into a tournament for it. The schedule's also super packed. I'm actually in the middle of deciding whether I actually want to go ahead with the Summer Championship or not. I think what I might do is I might cancel the Summer Championship, but not cancel it. I might rebrand the Summer Championship into like maybe like the, I don't know, the Fall Championship, I guess. Because I just don't think it's going to finish in a reasonable time, because it's probably going to end in like late October. I just can't get it to finish any sooner. So the schedule's just super ramped. So it's like, when do we fit in a patches tournament? Like, I guess today maybe, but like, I also just don't want to cast a version of the game I know 20% of or something, you know? So... I'm translating what they're talking about. But I really need that energy drink. I could not focus at all before. It's a lot better now. The focus is here. Did I check out Microscape? Not yet, mate. I haven't reset the 24/7 stream yet. It will be when we wrap up today. I'll go do it. We're having some fun lobby in the lobby. Having some fun in the lobby, shit talking the game basically. I never thought I'd be sat with pro Korean players shit talking the game. I was like, I was basically just saying, oh, hopefully they change things after BlizzCon. And the herO was like, we should change it now. And I was like, well, they have to keep it balanced for ZVZ, you know? And herO was like, the ZVZ can play on a mod. I like it. It's a good idea. You know? It's a good idea. You saw me wipe my nose? No way. I touched my nose during the stream? Holy. I can't believe I did that. Please don't tell my parents. It's so disappointed in me. You, you guys are lucky you don't see what I do when you don't see what I do when the game is on and my camera's off. It's brutal over here. Sometimes I even like reposition my hair. I know, pretty crazy. Bottom right, little finals of today's fun little cup. We are playing an alternating version of the patches. This is going to be the old patch. Sorry, this is going to be new patch for game 1. This is herO in the bottom right, and in the upper left, our red Zerg will be SHIN. Game number 2 and 4 will be played on the old version of the game, 5.0.15, and game 1 and 3 will be played on this new version of the game, 5.0.16. If we get to game 5, we coin flip. Yeah, Ticky Fire. It was actually only so far down because I think initially you said you mentioned like the microscape. You said like a word afterwards, and I think I just misunderstood that was part of it. So I googled like both words, and that's why it was so far down. If you just Google microscape, it does come up straight up. I can't remember what you said, but I guess I can check your chat history. You're bad. Not you're bad at all. I just read it wrong. Oh, you said could we get microscape interface enabled? Which I presume like the interface is like I googled microscape interface, and then everything's like, are you looking for the an interface for your microscope? And I'm like, no, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, that's just because I googled. I literally copy-pasted it. But yeah. Yeah. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying some games today. Obviously, pretty chill stream. I've been pretty tired, guys, as well. I gotta apologize a little bit. I know the energy's not being here today. I was really struggling to focus actually all day. I actually think I needed some caffeine. Because I cracked the energy drink out, and now I'm just like, woo, I can focus on the game. But my brain was just not there at all earlier, so I apologize. It doesn't help that it's like a bit of a more chill day as well. My brain's just like, oh, I can just wander off and not think about what we're doing. Yeah, let's hopefully bring it up a level for this finals as we kick off into this best of 5. Again, there's just a little replacement for the Kung Fu Cup. If you've enjoyed a little bit of an impromptu replacement for the Kung Fu Cup, do consider supporting the channels. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can sub here on Twitch. It is September, I believe. Are September deals already active? I think so. Well, if they're not active yet, then don't sub yet. But basically, you can get money off of like a multi-month gifted sub, or not multi-month gifted, just a multi-month sub coming soon when September starts. So that's obviously pretty neat. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, do consider supporting. Obviously, today's the kind of day that we run on a pretty big loss on the stream usually. You know, we're going to make like $50 to $60 of ad revenue back and stuff. But it's nice to be live. It's nice to be live and casting some games and stuff. So. Yeah. If you like it, support it. It helps us out a bunch, and we'll continue to make sure that there's no gaps in the StarCraft calendar apart from tomorrow. I actually need a day off tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is the 1 week from Helen having surgery, and it's not actually been that bad, but like I've been waking up at like 6 to 7 every day, and I've been doing the things and keeping stuff on track. So yeah, extremely disappointed that September this year doesn't discount gift subs. September hasn't discount gift subs for like six years or something. Apart from the 1 week at the end, no? It's been a long time since September's been like that. Like, I think one of the first ones had discounted gifts, but it's just not, it only happens for like a few days nowadays. It is gonna happen like later. Or is it only on like gifts of 5? Maybe it's only on gifts of 5. I don't know. The best part about September not being that good anymore is that you don't have Droptober anymore. You used to have September, and then everyone used to be like, oh, it's so miserable, my sub count goes down in October. Like, no shit, your sub count goes down in October. You got everyone to sell out the month before when it was cheap. What the hell did you expect? I mean, I'm guilty of this as well. Like, oh no, the sub count's going down, guys, but Man, some streamers on social media, sometimes they're like, I just can't stream, see my sub count go down. Let's say, bro, your sub count's only there because of the promotion. Are you crazy? Oh, yeah. At least there's something for September, but yeah, it's definitely... The problem is that September actually started off as a really cool thing, and it was actually really powerful. It just dropped off a lot since then, that's all. The random additional 1 to 50 subs is kind of nice, yeah. I actually think they have that active right now if you dual stream in multiple formats, like if you do a horizontal and vertical stream. The problem with that is, how the hell do you stream StarCraft 2 vertically? Like, what do you even do with that? Like... You know, this works really well for people who have a camera, because you can put the middle of your screen and then your camera. Like, what the hell do you do in StarCraft for this? Like, this just doesn't work. The Wardy keyboard camera? You guys want to see me click on RuneScape with my second mouse while I'm casting? Oh, yeah. You can see some sick micro. Dog cam? Yeah, but I don't have a dog cam. Ellie doesn't sit there. Dog cam, if I had dog cam, she would show up for like 10 seconds every stream. That's all she does. She walks in, she sees them working, and she walks out. She's so disappointed. If I cut up the UI... yeah, maybe. Like, maybe if you cut up like the scoreboard. But I think you can only cut up like... I don't actually know. I don't know if it works like that. Maybe it does. Maybe I should actually look into it. But who's actually sitting there watching SC2 in vertical mode? Is this really a thing? I know. I mean, maybe we should turn it on just for the extra gifted subs. I don't even know. What about 2 obs at once? Yo, I was actually watching the WardiTV 24/7 stream, the Cast of Civil War. Man, I had some freaking production value in that thing. We were doing all of the things. We had all of the... I was doing the multi-observing over two different PCs for the picture-in-picture and stuff. Sickening. It was so good. God, Old Wardy used to be so passionate about putting on a good show. You're currently in vertical because of chat. Yeah, but then I don't think that would affect you. Because it's like vertical full screen. So, if you have vertical with chat, then you're just kind of watching the horizontal version with chat underneath it, no? Yeah, I don't know. You swipe to wide when not reading typing? Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not saying it's... Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to hate on it. I just don't envision how it would work for SC2. Like, there's nothing for me to put in the right... You know what I mean? Yeah. You can still choose old and new vertical. Yeah, but then... What do we even put on new vertical? This is what I mean. I just don't think new vertical does anything for our game. Twitch are like, please do it. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Then like, have you thought about adding a webcam to your stream? I'm like, I don't think anyone needs to see my face when they're trying to watch StarCraft, man. They already have to listen to my voice. Only for the subs. Yeah, to me, I think we literally do it just to get some extra gifted subs. But that's what they want. Yeah. Basika, thank you, by the way, for the 40-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated. YouTube, Loco does shorts on YouTube and Instagram, and that's fine for short-form content. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad. I also do some shorts here and there as well. It's fine for, like, a little clip or something, but you can't watch a full game of SC2 only watching the middle of the screen. Because sometimes things just aren't centered. Like, right now, you would see jack shit because the meters aren't in the middle of the screen. You know? Have the mini map might be interesting. Like mini map as a separate thing. That could be actually kind of cool, maybe. Go vertical and rotate the camera now. Yeah. I'm glad I come to you guys. It lets me know that I wasn't wrong in realizing there was no good way to do this. Yo, thank you, Debelica, for the 40-month resub as well. Is that back-to-back 40-monthers? Crazy. Phoenix is going to dive on the meters. The meters are kind of happy to go down. herO, actually not looking too bad at the start of this one. Ground Army, mixed in with a few Voids. Actually has... Someone asked about Colossus and PvZ. We actually have Colossus and PvZ. You know what? Against someone that's very lane-heavy, it can still not be bad. It's just, I still don't believe it's good if you get attacked from all angles. He only has 2? Now, let's see how it plays out. Lings get into the natural right away here. Adrenal glands coming up, plus the melee upgrade coming through. Plus 1 flare attack building as well. That carapace upgrade continue coming around as well. Bring this over for a few moments. This is a scary push. We have a good amount of force fields, by the way. Oh! I had so much belief in that first disruptor. I actually thought it was heading for a big shot, but kind of fizzled. Kind of fizzled. Bane's gonna wrap around. Colossus gonna fire. A couple of these Banelings continue to drop. This feels like a good fight for herO. He needs to capitalize now before reinforcements are out, before SHIN gets a chance to rebuild. A bunch of extra Ravagers being morphed in. Whereas the Vals don't quite kill that Void Ray. Some Banes on the other side, getting a few more probes. hero's still pushing forward. As you're going to see SHIN. SHIN's got a ton of money to spend as well, by the way. herO trying to kite back. Does herO have any reinforcements showing up? Not really. Oh, the Yoinkers are here. However, there's nothing to kill the Yoinkers. Oh, well, sorry, to kill the Colossus after the Yoinks have been done. That doesn't matter. In the end, it's going to go down. For a moment, I was like, well, the Colossus just got a better position on the Ravagers. But herO's army will melt away in the end, and SHIN will defend. Down. Nothing to kill the Yoinkers. Yeah, but the Yoinkers are the Vipers. Which I guess was true. The Vipers lived, right? So there was nothing, but I more meant there was nothing to actually kill the Yoinkies. Yes, the Yoinkies. Yeah. Oh, now I see that you actually were correcting me. Yes. There's nothing to kill the Yoinkies in this position. I gotta be careful. Someone clips that and they're gonna get me done for something. The Yoinked? Those, the Yoinked, the Yoinkies? Some official terminology being created right here and now in the stream. The Yoinkies a terrible baseball team. Yeah, they try and throw the ball and instead they just end up inside the opponent's territory or something. I don't know enough baseball to make a funny joke out of this. I shouldn't have even tried. You know, sometimes it's good just to ignore a comment in chat, because, like, if I just say nothing, like, you don't know how unfunny I am. Whereas if I try and be funny, you realize it. It's like, ugh. Colossus goes down. herO is going to get KO'd. As SHIN is going to take map number 1 of this BO5 final. Game 2 will be on old patch, guys. I'm very interested how this looks, because actually, SHIN looked pretty good against Classic. You won both the versus Classic games on the old patch, so actually kind of interested in how this goes. I've just looked at how to create a vertical setup. We're gonna scrape in some gifted subbies. It just seems like so much nonsense, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually gonna do it. I'm not gonna get baited. I'm not gonna take the problem. I did see someone get gifted 49 subs by Twitch, though. When someone gifted 5, like, that seems pretty enticing, but knowing our luck, we'd probably set it up and get gifted 1, so... I don't know. Hey, maybe we should try it. Yo, thank you, Anonymous, for the donation. Appreciate it. Thank you for donating £8. Appreciate the support. Isn't going Oracles the matter in PvZ? Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have Phoenix. You have access to Phoenix, but if you don't have Phoenix at the right time, it can still be pretty deadly for you. You can get outmassed by the meters pretty swiftly, basically, so, yeah. SHIN and herO are very good friends. They were yapping away the moment they got on the party with each other. Little teammates from CJ Enters, of course, as well. Who hasn't been skipping their Korean lessons? Please translate. I always try and read what they're saying, just in the hopes that it's one of the few Korean words I know. But, yeah. It's like a very minor, like, hope. I always find this part of the music very intense. I think I've said this before. I don't like talking over because I feel as though it's like the build-up, you know, and it's just like super excited. It's like just as the adept gets a link, it's like, oh my god. You can see that link speed finishing up. Oracle and the Warp Gate coming through. Couple probes, the Adept going about. The Adept's going to get here. Couple of drones going to get jumped on. And we're going to see some lings going down as well. So these Adepts doing decently. And pulling back around. A couple more Zerglings continue to drop over these next couple of moments. Just handling that very well. Things actually underneath that Oracle, it very nearly goes down. Oracle nearly drops down dead, but it is just about going to survive on through. Oracle going to activate. A few lings going to get pushed about. Oracle going to get a little bit more damage out there as well. Again, Adepts and the Nexus all coming into place. Forge Twilight Council both building, just going to get that next one away as well. So again, bringing this up, getting this on the go, continue to bring that over for a little bit. And do have the setup looking kind of what we expected to be. There's the melee upgrade, which is obviously very common for the Zergs when they're expecting Stalkers especially. Two Adepts getting shared again. +1 blink still coming up. Gates and the probes coming by. These Adepts will get into the main. They'll be able to maybe get something done here. Got a few more workers. SHIN going to pull the drones to try and get the catch. But that just means it's easier for these Adepts to target them. It's a good amount of mining time lost. And we killed some workers along with it as well. Even gets that low HP one as we chase herO with some good damage so far. Stalk will go poking onto that Overlord. A few Zerglings gathering up as well. Gonna try and pop the stasis down. The drone steps over. The Oracle continues to come by also. Yeah, +1 and blink. Continuing to come into position. There's a couple Stalkers still hitting those lings. And a little bit more damage done. That is going to be coming through. Fourth base coming down from SHIN as well at the moment. Oracle's moving across. Repositioning for a couple of seconds. Seeing the pylon coming up here. Here we're going to apply some pressure with these Blink Stalkers. Let's see how this goes. He's just going to run in. A couple of Oracles going to be fighting. A few Lings already going to get pushed away. 24 Lings coming out. The lair is about to be done for SHIN, but he's going to lose this base. He is double expanding bottom right-hand corner of the map. I mean, big map, you can kind of do that. Kind of surprised we didn't have the lair already, no? 720 gold patch. He does have a lot of gas to spend when he gets this Hydrogen and Bane Nest online. What's so funny? He cancelled the lead 90% done. Yeah, I was going to say this feels very wrong. I missed him cancelling it, guys, so that's my bad. But yeah, it obviously doesn't add up. You've also got 850 gas right here, which is meant to be Hydras. Like, Hydras should be building already. He was going to let these Stalkers get caught. And the Lings are going to come get another surround. Got Lings counterattacking at the same time as well. SHIN continues to come about. A couple Oracles will be there. Honestly, taking a bit of effort from herO to clean this up, but overall his supply is still looking great. Now Hydra's on the way, but of course, not only the Hydra's late, but then the upgrades are going to be late. Like, every effective part of this is going to be really delayed. And the only thing that's really stopping herO is the fact he's had to reinforce at home rather than on the map. When he gets some more Stalkers across to this side, this should help him out much further and keep things more on track as the Stalkers come back over. A few Lings going to try and slip on by. He's going to catch. Stalkers taking damage. You're going to see having just too many Stalkers, I think, across the other side. herO will apply the pressure. herO will be getting it done. And as we continue to trade this out, the few extra Hydra's still coming over. The Stalker's still blinking backwards. Just needs to still protect some of these Stalkers. I mean, the supply is good for herO. Pull back, get a few more Stalkers out, get that Mothership out as well, and we should be able to reset nicely here. Mothership is kind of huge in this scenario as well. It's read very well against everything that is existing right now from SHIN's herO. Three Zealots from the left side. Stalkers re-engage with those Zealots in front. Even going to blink on in. Maybe the blinking's unnecessary, but it's also good. It was going to kill everything, and herO well overwhelmed for a Game 2 victory. Each player representing their beloved patch well. Going to go 1-1. I actually wonder what would have happened if SHIN hadn't cancelled his lair, because cancelling the lair and being so late to the Hydra's kind of doomed him in this one. And he still had some good Ling surrounds and some good Ling counterattacks, so I do wonder if it would have looked a bit different. The ship's still holding on down to the bottom. More Stalkers. Hatch already going to take some damage. That's this base. I mean, herO's going to knock down base by base. +2 attack going to be done soon. Let's see how well he deals with these Balings. I'm just going to say he's not getting enough. And he types GG. So herO going to level this out at 1 apiece. We're going to go to a Game 3 on the current patch to continue this series. Beautiful. These guys just laughing the entire time when they come out of game. I really wish I actually learned Korean just so I could join in more when they were talking. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Nope. I think herO said something to the effect of, "You finally, you finally feel like my younger brother again." I guess because he's used to beating him. The old version's much more dynamic. Is the old version much more dynamic? I mean, it's pretty scripted what you do in old version PvZ, no? I don't think old version PvZ was super crazy. Is that low-key BM? No. herO and SHIN are really good friends, so yeah, they just have some fun with each other. They go back and forth. It's not BM. The old version has a lot less downtime at the start. Yeah, I mean that's obviously a given. Yeah, that's obviously a given. Obviously, the game is still sped up a bit than from what 8 workers was originally going to look like. But, I mean, 12 workers is just fast. I still think fast in a good way as well, to be honest. Like, still think fast in a good way. It works, but yeah, the bracket command has the maps the wrong way around. Map, you can swap the patches on. New patches on 1 and 3, old patch 2 and 4. The rules I got sent are different to the rules they then played with in game, and honestly, I could just fix it, but I'm notorious for being lazy, and I'm going to stand by it. TLDR. Can't go having me think, you know, I can't go have people think I'm just going to change things on the fly and be productive. Like, it sets a bad precedent. It sets bad expectations for the future, you know? You're very confused, Junshin in Classic. Yeah. Yeah. It's my bad. Well, it's not my bad. I put in the official rules. It's just they changed the rules. they changed the decided order of it all, you know? What are we meant to do about that? Do. Queen's coming through. Queen coming about. I'm just going to be seeing the Ling Speed coming over as well. A couple more queens in production. Speaking of not updating stuff, I'm WardiTV, 32-year-old full-time StarCraft 2 streaming content producer. Is my About page up to date? Check me out, no? See, clearly I updated something. The funny thing is whenever I updated that, if it's because is that from the panel below the stream? Because the funny thing is when I updated that, it was literally like 3 or 4 years since I updated. So the thing is that I was like 29 or something. Am I really 32? Yeah. I'm really 32. Guys thought I'm old as shit, what the fuck? The hell? I am like the youngest of the StarCraft casters. I think is Nathaniel's younger than me? Out of all the StarCraft casters, I'm the youngin. Nate's older than me as well. Yeah, I'm the youngest out of all the StarCraft casters. I mean, maybe not some of the new. I was gonna say new guys. I don't know who that is, but out of the guys that frequently casted, like the big events and stuff, you know. How old Steadfast? Steadfast's I don't know how old Steadfast is. Steadfast's older than me though, for sure. Not much older. No, I think Steadfast is significantly older than me. I was surprised when I found out how. Was he? Maybe I'm misremembering this. I don't even know. Younger than State? Well, State. I mean, you guys, we're fighting over who is a caster. I mean, I guess State's a caster now. State is older than me as well, yes. Steadfast like 36? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, Steadfast is older than me. I say significantly older, like 4 years is not a lot older, obviously. It's just, it turns out that pretty much everyone invested in StarCraft 2 was born around the same time. Yeah. I was, like I said, I was always the young'un. Loco looks very young too. Loco is a bit young as well. I say a bit young. A bit young. Loco is like a year and a half older than me too. Yeah. Loco has that Dutch aging process to him, you know. It's like Awesome. He also looks nice and young. Awesome's younger than me. See that it's so funny because it's like all the cast. I guess because all the casters were kind of like OGs in SE2, whereas like a lot of the pros were just a bit younger than the casters because they came maybe not from the very start or so, or they still need time to develop if they're still like modern day pros, I guess. So yeah. Then you got people like Clem who's just like stupid young. He's like 24, so it's like it's just not fair, man. Is GG Machine the youngest right now? He's one of the youngest. I'm not sure how old they all are. I don't track this too much, but yeah. You're 40 next year. That's a cranky old man. You guys aren't, you're a cranky old man. It's just, you know, we're still living our best years, guys. We're all still living our best years. You watching Neds? Do you like since you're like 20? Yeah. Yeah, SE2 came out when I was still in high school. Well, not high school. We call it sixth form, I guess. But my high school and my sixth form were the same place. I guess I think of it the same. But I didn't even get into SE2 at that point. I got into SE2. Well, I guess after I finished school, which was it was like the summer before I started university. But that was 2011. spent 4 years developing a very important degree in casting StarCraft. Fortunately, those 4 years were well spent because here we are now, 14 years later, actually, still casting StarCraft. Haven't used my degree once, but we cast StarCraft every day, you know. Is ZG older than me? Yeah. Since if you still was poking, I've not really talked about this game. Sorry, today's a very casual day. We're very off. We're very off script. We're just chatting and chilling. What's my degree in? I have a master's in physics. I was a nerdy kid. I was a prime candidate to be a StarCraft 2 player. I don't know why. Like this, like a science-y degree. This game's going better for herO. It is, but I also feel that this game is also going the way where it's like you're gonna see that kind of late game Zerg production really kind of bounce in a very strong manner. But I have a math degree. Yeah, I kind of wish I had a math. Well, it doesn't really make a difference. I wish I'd done math though, I think, instead of physics. I didn't like the, I actually really like physics, but I didn't like having to do labs. I would have rather done more like sit down and learn things and actually have to do experiments, you know? Didn't like that part. I'm not a very practical person. So, is math basically the language of physics? Yeah, physics is like, I mean, a lot of things are applied math, but physics is just applying maths in cool ways. But you have to do the experiments, which, like I say, I wasn't a fan of. I hate it when like shit gets on me, or like I think I was terrible at chemistry. Well, I wasn't terrible. I was actually really good at chemistry, but I hated doing chemistry experiments in school because I'd like wash my hands and I'd be like, wait, is my hand wet? It's like, is that acid? Oh my god, I'm burning to death. Like I had to create like, yeah, that was miserable. I don't know, labs just sucked, man. I was like, yeah, do all this practical stuff and then prove that you're only a little bit off from what you could have been. And like physics experiments were better because they're less messy, but I ended up having to do like my final project. I ended up having to do things with big ass machines and like liquid helium and shit, and like this goes straight back to my chemistry days of being like, shit can go wrong so easy. I'm not made for this. You can't fuck stuff up if you're just writing it down on paper, you know. It's like, oh no, I broke my pencil or something. Like that's as bad as it gets. As herO was kind of winning this, but I don't know if I love how aggressively he put himself here. Gonna drop a recall, stalkers. Just gonna get out of there. What did I want to become when I was studying? I had no idea. I just did physics because I was very good at physics and maths all my life. So I just, that seemed cool to me, so I just did that. I didn't know if I never had any idea what I wanted to do when I grew up, you know? I was never I never had like a goal or anything. Like, even when I was casting StarCraft, my goal wasn't to become a StarCraft caster. I was just doing what I enjoyed. So I guess all I ever wanted to do was to do something I enjoy, which is what I ended up doing, I guess. Did I do a master's thesis? Yes, I did. My master's thesis was originally titled, it was originally meant to be the interactions between superconductors and skirmions in B20 helimagnets. And it actually became... The problem is like, it's kind of funny, but basically in the first week I was meant to do the very first test, which was basically proving that the skirmions were there in, what was it? Iron germanium, was it? Oh, what was the, oh god, it's been so long I can't even remember it. B20 helimagnet. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, iron germanium. So basically in the first week I was meant to prove that the skirmions were there, and when I did the test, the skirmions weren't there. And then the thing that we used to make the iron germanium in really, really small thicknesses broke, this like a massive like room-sized machine that makes things that are like nanometers thick. It broke, so I couldn't make any of my own iron germanium all year, which didn't really matter because I couldn't find the skirmions anyway. So we spent the entire year trying to find the skirmions, which is through something called the topological Hall effect. And basically my final title was studying the existence of skirmions and the topological Hall effect in iron germanium, or just in B20 healing magnets still, I think. So yeah. Skirmions, it's spelled S-K-Y. It's like Skyrim if you're dyslexic. Like kind of. Skyrim, Skirmion, I think it's S-K-Y-R-M-I-O-N. Yeah. Yeah, I hated it because, so it's kind of funny because because the thing broke, I didn't have to do half the shit I was meant to do. It was a really weird project because, like, I'm terrible at taking initiative. I like being told what to do. And that's terrible when you're doing like your master's experiment things and the main machine's broke and you can't make your own thing. Like it was a thing. Vortex like magnetic structures. Basically, a skirmion is like a magnetic structure that's topologically stable. So like the magnetic spin points up on the outside and then in on the inside, like a kind of vortexy thing. And they're topologically stable, which is really cool because it means they're very hard to break. Like, it takes a lot of energy to break these things. So then when you whack them next to superconductors, it's really freaking interesting all the shit that they can do. But I never got to do that stuff because I couldn't find the skirmions. So, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I have my report on a computer. If not on this computer next to me, then on my if not on the computer next to me, I have it on the 24/7 stream PC. Yeah, I have it saved somewhere, somehow. Well, guys, we really didn't talk about this game at all. herO's actually winning a game of modern patch PvZ in a kind of cool way, and we didn't talk about it one single bit. Crazy. Skirmion's a thing that only exists in Wardy Mines. You know what's hilarious is that I had no idea what Skirmion was as well. Like you had to apply for like different projects you could do. Like there was a list of like different things you could basically pick to research in your 4th year, and you had to like rank them like 1 to 5. And I did not vibe with so many of them. And I really felt like this one was going to be like a good like, oh, this feels very like theoretical almost and stuff. I was like, that sounds cool. And that's the one I got on. And like I say, like, basically to see the existence of skirmions, they only exist at like super low temperatures. So you basically have to dip it into liquid helium. Well, liquid helium is an extremely rare resource that has to be like recycled and preserved. It was a whole thing. Like you're basically dipping massive sticks into massive tubs of helium. Like it's crazy. It was not theoretical in the slightest. It was very hands-on. Is herO gonna lose this fight? I think he is, man. The Hydra count is just too high at the end of this, and Shin's gonna get underneath the kill out all the Tempests. Physics is more important. I mean, I just get distracted by Twitch chat, man. Like, do you guys realize, you guys watched the GSTL rebroadcast yesterday? Did you notice how locked into the games I was? I talked about StarCraft for like 5.5 hours straight. Isn't it crazy what happens when Twitch chat doesn't derail me? It's actually you guys. You guys are actually the problem. Yesterday, it actually made me consider turning chat off while I cast sometimes. Because I actually just get completely derailed by chat. It's the distraction. It actually makes me, yeah, kind of crazy. Look what you made me do. Yeah. Never ever resonated so hard with Taylor Swift. Yeah. Is Twitch had the problem? Yeah, pretty much. You like what I'm talking about, but the game is interesting? Yeah, I know. Shin is dead, by the way, at least, so it wasn't some crazy comeback in the end. I mean, that's the thing. It's the really awkward thing about being the streamer caster crossover It's like a caster just talks about the game and entertains you with the game, right? But if I only entertain you guys with the game, no one gives a shit, and so you just watch the game. So I have to entertain you guys with being a streamer, because being the streamer is people are like, whoa, this guy's cool somehow. I don't know how, but like you guys are like, whoa, this guy's cool. Subs, money. You throw it at me, you know? I'm like, oh, I like that, you know? That's a big plus. Sorry, let me... so that's a big plus. So you've got to balance those, right? And I do a pretty good job of casting a lot of the games, but like, if I figured this out a long time ago, if you only cast the games, people just don't support. This is why Base Trade TV was really successful, because they just chat shit a lot of the time. And then you still get excited about the games in the right moments. I don't know. I said it at the start of this series, my brain's already very, yeah. My brain was already pretty off focus today. I was having trouble locking in, so all it took was one interesting thing and I was gone, to be honest. Ay. I like when you still stop physical money at me. That happened once. I got in a I was at BlizzCon and I got in an elevator in the hotel and TLO came in. I don't know what made him do this, but he took $1 and he threw it at me and he was like, cheer 100. It was very random. It was very accurate though as well. You've been watching for almost a decade and this is the first time you're hearing I'm an actual genius. Probably because I'm not an actual genius, is what it comes down to. I'm just, I just did a degree. Doing a degree isn't hard. Like, I had like 10% attendance on my lectures and I did extremely well because lectures are overrated. You just have to study to pass the exam. Like, they ask you the same questions every year, so you figure out what they're going to ask you and you just learn to answer it. And like I say, you have to show up to do... That's why labs suck. You can't just skive off the labs. You actually have to do the shit. It's really tough. I'm trying to find my, my report. The last game was new patch. This game is old patch, guys. 12 workers, zoom, and herO is up 2-1. Our blue Paralysis in the top right corner of the map. And we have ourselves in the bottom left, our red Zerg. It is going to be shit. My master's in physics is super impressive. I mean, sure, but I also did this when I was like 21. I'll be 1 minute, guys. Sorry, guys. I forgot to give Helen her tablets. See? Not so genius after all, am I? Huh. Yeah, Helen said I might be a genius, but I still don't know how to use a washing machine, so who's really the smart one? She's not wrong. Not wrong. Do I really not have... I have it somewhere. It must be on the other PC, I think. Oh, no, I uploaded it. I actually have it on my Google Drive because I uploaded it earlier this year. That's so smart of me. We can have a look at it between games if you guys want. Unfortunately, this is old patch, so we don't actually have. We don't actually have. We don't actually have. You know, anything useful here. Sorry, we don't actually have downtime to talk about things. So yeah. Oh. You're also surprised when people repeated tests. What was funny about... So they never repeated tests in my university, but what they did do is... The tests were very... They would give you, like, the past papers, right? And I would say something like 80% of the past paper was the next paper just reworded. So if you could identify what the question wanted you to do and apply the solution or how you did it on another paper in a slightly different way... Okay, when you explain it like that, it doesn't seem super obvious, but like if you can see that, it's really not that hard. Like, I studied for a lot of things. I tactically failed a module one time as well because I just didn't want to study for it as well. Like, I was a mess in uni, and I still did well, which to me said it was not really that bad, but it was a thing. Anyways. You like this format? It's like tennis. Hero broke SHIN in game 3. Oh, so you think we should have like a Protoss patch and a Zerg patch, and if you can break the other guy, you have to win by 2 points though. That's how we get the first like 24-hour series of StarCraft 2 while only being a best of 5. Maybe Hero fans are agreeing this. I mean, herO has slowly been getting better at PvZ on the new patch. I still think it's obviously very difficult though for Protoss. I'll go turned away for a couple of moments. It shouldn't see the fleet beacon. Mate, this is a real StarCraft question that makes me look at the game. No, he did not. Ah, yeah. What are we doing talking about StarCraft, guys? Unbelievable. Don't forget the sets. You need to win a best of 3 of a best of 5. I never really thought about tennis like that. Huh. Tennis is like a best of 12. Well, I guess it's like a best of 13. But you can also win by going to 6, which doesn't really make sense in a best of 13. 7-5, I guess it's best of 12. But then you play tiebreakers. Tennis is complicated when you think of it like that. Holy shit. Mothership coming up. As this was going to be an early mothership. This was very popular. Zound really popularized this, I think, in the old patch. This early mothership and just taking a lot of control. Mothership gives you a lot of power. So, yeah, Shannon's going to go into the spy. I don't think we've really seen the mutas have too much success today at all. To depths, the Stalkers going to pull back a little. The Lings will begin to go down. A couple more Gaze Temple Archives coming up as well. herO. 60 workers to the 76. Having the Mothership is huge, though. I mean, Mothership helps you out so much defensively. It can do so much with cool tricks with the cloaking and so on as well. It puts you in a very good position overall. The best of 69 tournament, still the greatest one ever held. There's been a lot of best of 69s now, though. You know what we should do? We should do best of 69 TVZ on this patch. Just pure camping. God, how long would that take us? 3 days, maybe? It'd be great. Best of 67. You know, it's funny because like 69 used to be the funny number, and now 67 is a funny number. It's like, who would have thought, like, if you had to make a prediction all those years ago, who would have thought the next funny number in the world would have been 67, you know? Seven's not a funny number. Boomer. Way to point out your age in chat, guys. Lol. Crypto's gonna get both the oracles. It's kind of nice. We can zone with that storm a little bit initially. We should have seen it coming with why was 6 afraid of 7 joke. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because he wanted to be part of 6-7. I don't know, like, that joke's ruined now, isn't it? Can you actually imagine telling that joke to a modern day kid? They just start flinging their arms in there and laughing. It's like, I didn't even tell you the punchline. I didn't even tell you the punchline. Stop there. They're just like 6-7. Oh, modern day life's ruined, isn't it? Mothership pops the cloaking. Overseer took a little while to arrive, so stuff was not under attack for a few moments at least. Ghost of Val's trying to land down. SHIN looking for the break right here and now. The Mothership will die, trying to retreat away from those Corruptors. We have the Archons held strong on the left side, and we kill off a lot of the Corruptors too, so a lot of the expense from SHIN to make this attack happen does go down in it. Another round of Roach Ravager Link on the way, so SHIN is still trying to break herO. Killing the Mothership is a big deal. Well, I do think, though, I mean, we've got no Corruptors left, and there's about to be a second Tempest. Now, Tempests do not do damage quickly, but they will do damage constantly. The Phoenix as well, being able to lift up Ravagers, especially low HP ones, and just taking them out of the equation early is big. Any Ravager you get rid of is a big win. Decent Storm. I think we need to be fighting back towards our static defense. We need damage output. So stuff like the cannons and so are very important here. These Archons are putting some massive damage in. We have one battery in the back that just doesn't have the energy on it to really be impactful. Does herO have a way to survive? Not quite sure. The cannons keep firing. The Roaches or Ravagers continue to push up. We are going to see these cannons still going down. Another Phoenix lifting the Ravager up as well. I think we hold this off, though. Like, this looked good for SHIN, but he is going to lose everything. Oh, ByuN on the Tempest going to get the KO. We clean this up as herO, no? There's no way I can post this series on YouTube. Oh, I can. This is the sort of series that does really well on YouTube because people get so triggered by the lack of talking about the game, they comment on it to tell me. And then YouTube is like, whoa, people are commenting on this one so much. Like, we're going to tell more people to check this out. Yeah. No, this series isn't good. I honestly think I could upload this series to YouTube and, like, what? I mean, it might have been kind of clickbaity. Battle of the Patches. I also, like, maybe clickbait does terrible on my channel. I don't know. If April Fools, I should commentate a completely different game. Yeah, that would actually be kind of funny. That'd be great, no? In the top right-hand side, we've got Clem. It's like a Pink Protoss player. It's just like, oh my god, we should just play. Okay, we should get 2 gold to Diamond Leaguers to play under the name like Clem and someone else, right, or something, and cast that. April Fools. All right, guys, we got a Clem herO best of 9, but it's actually 2 Diamond League players. You guys remember when Harston did this on his YouTube channel? He was like, this is a Bunny SHIN best of 5 or something, and it got crazy good viewership. It's like, it's actually 2 other guys. It was like Baby Marine and someone or something, or Akron and somebody. I can't remember who it was, but he basically lied about who it was and got the names changed in the replay. He cast it with Lambo, and Lambo kind of caught on. He didn't, like, say anything, but he was, like, making comments. I was like, that's not really, like, something that SHIN would do, you know? He was like, that doesn't really make sense. And it was Carson's proof that, like, people have no idea what they're watching. And, like, the clickbait of names is just so powerful, even though the people would happily watch players of a lower level. They just don't want to watch them because they're not the flashy names, you know? Can you imagine, though? Some classic Clem micro right there as he walks 10 Marines into one baneling from across the map. Oh my god, this is the first stream I had to mute. Horrible blah blah, not even commenting the game at all. Nice. Congrats, mate. I'm so proud to be your first. You're going to actually be the first person I ban all day. Isn't that nice? Not even worth a ban. It's actually a very, very valid comment. We've been completely off topic this entire series. Today's not been a good day for actually casting games. herO gets the win. 3-1! We did it, guys! Protoss won something! Asterisk. Some old patch games are played. GG's. Time out for 10 seconds. No, it's a fair comment. Like, we did not talk about the game at all. You know? We didn't chat about the game one single bit. But that's okay, because some days are like that. Like, this is not a super serious... It's more fun to pin the comment. Oh, I would if it didn't get rid of the actual useful stuff. Like I say, sometimes you gotta be a caster, sometimes you gotta be a streamer. Some people don't like this hand, some people like this hand more. It's hard to sit in the middle. Sometimes we go... You take some credit with the whole age conversation. That did start it, yeah? That did start it all off. Investigating the topological Hall effect in B20 helimagnets. Thin films of B20 crystal structure helimagnets, iron germanium, and iron cobalt silicon were grown through molecular beam epitaxy. Materials which are host to a B20 crystal structure often experience a skyrmion phase in certain ranges of fields and temperatures, which is extended in thin films due to chiral interactions, making the two-dimensional skyrmion spin texture more energetically favorable. Holy shit! Like, that is a sentence of all time. Not even written in LaTeX. I know, I got in so much shit. We got taught so much about how to do in LaTeX, and I was just like, nah. Fuck that. It didn't say we had to, so I didn't. The presence of these magnetic skyrmions is investigated through the observation of a topological Hall effect in transport measurements, which is considered strong evidence for the presence of skyrmions and can be used to observe the properties and dynamics of the skyrmions, which have many potential uses in the field of spintronics. Through a widely accepted method of analysis, we observe a topological Hall effect in a 70 nanometer film of iron germanium, which shows a maximum value of minus 63.1 nano-ohm centimeters at 150 Kelvin, confirming the skyrmion phase present in the dash sample. I don't know what the dash sample is. Probably just meant to be a sample. The measurements follow an expected trend in the density of skyrmions based on the field and temperature for iron germanium. The angular dependence of skyrmions in the topological Hall effect is investigated through a new method of analysis, which yields an extremely small topological Hall effect, THE, of minus 6.4 nano-ohm centimeters at 5 Kelvin, but fails to extract a THE at higher temperatures. The same analysis is performed on iron cobalt silicon, where a maximum THE of minus 506 nano-ohm centimeters was seen in the x equals 0.25 sample, which is relatable to other measurements and so suggests the angular analysis is a valid way of extracting a topological Hall effect. If that paragraph doesn't get you hyped to read the next 20 pages, I don't know what does, guys. Like, if that doesn't get you excited for the rest of this, woo! Look at that! Look at that! Banging. Banging. Please read it all on stream? No. That was already an effort, no? Only 20 pages? Yeah, you can imagine my terror when I went to hand it in and everyone else had a freaking chunk like this for their thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? Mine's like this, legitimately, and my friend's is like, we go to get them like bound in the library together, and I'm like, he's like, oh, this is gonna be so expensive. I'm like, why? It's only like a few sheets of paper. He's like, mine's like this. He got his out. It's like, I'm like, didn't matter. I got it first. Turns out if your project sucks and you don't have to write much, it was accurate. Is what I did through the year. Yeah. Oh, I can show you guys what a skyrmion looks like. Well, a visual representation of a skyrmion. this here. This is a visual representation of a skirmion. The spin is up on the outside and down on the inside, making it very hard to break. Crazy, huh? Crazy. You're fully engaged for the rest of the paper? It's definitely something, no? Maybe someday, guys. Maybe someday, but today is not that day. Skyrim. I don't know why I never thought, like, I've literally just now thought of it as like a Skyrim if you spell it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I did think of this joke when I was younger, but like, always just cooler back then. Crazy. Can I translate the paper into something understandable? Basically, under certain conditions, there's the magnetic structure of these little tiny super thin things changes to something that's really stable. And basically, because that's so stable and difficult to break, you can do really cool things making it interact with other stuff. But the main point of the paper was confirming that these things, that the spin state existed in super thin, in these things. So TLDR, we did a bunch of tests to confirm that the magnetic spin state represent what is called a skirmion. Explain that your 5-beat in StarCraft terms. So, the new patch has made Zerg really stable. Like, you can't break Zerg because they're super solid from their early game is like this, pointing up, and their late game is like this, pointing down, right? And they're just really good at every stage of the game, so if you try to break them, you just can't pull them apart. So the Zerg is the skirmion, and under certain conditions, patch 5.0.16, the Zerg cannot be broken. As such, when you apply Zerg to different situations, very interesting things happen. So if you put Zerg next to Twitch chat, you get a lot of riots because people complain about balance. If you put Zerg into tournaments, the Zerg creates a lot of money because they can't lose. So basically, Zerg really good under the specific conditions, and when you apply it to certain things, it interacts and creates very cool things that happen from there. There you go. Was Skyrim even out when I wrote that paper? Yeah, it was. What uni did I go to? I'm telling you this shit, yeah. You guys gonna use my student number and fucking stalk me or something. Yeah. You understand it now? Cool. Yeah, I honestly, like I say, my project was more meant to be putting this super thin shit on top of superconductors and doing really cool things. But I never got to do that because we spent the entire year trying to prove that they existed. Which we'd already done, but just not in the samples I had access to. And we couldn't grow new samples because the molecular beam epitax thing broke. If you don't know what this thing is, it's like a giant F-off machine. Basically, this thing, to give you some perspective, this is like, you know, if you stand next to it, it's like the same height as you. They can be bigger as well, but this thing is what you need to grow things that are like you basically grow the films like layer by layer. And so you're basically applying like a super thin layer of iron germanium on top of a super thin layer of iron germanium to get it to the thickness you want. Because you're talking about like nanometers. So like 10 to the minus 9 of a, or 10 to the minus 7 of a centimeter or something, you know? So it is, you're basically putting like super thin layers on top of each other to build up to this, what is still super thin. Like it's super duper thin. And the thing is like the thickness of these sheets is very important because the effect at like 70 nanometers of thickness versus 75 nanometers of thickness is vastly different. But this machine can grow to like, I think like 0.01, I think to like 0.01 nanometers of accuracy. It can grow the film. It's not, well, I think you tested the thickness of it through x-rays. This is what the report's for. I actually wrote this down somewhere. X-ray. High angle X-ray diffraction. Yes, there we go. After growth, X-ray analysis can be performed on the films to determine the structure and characteristics such as thickness or roughness. Peaks are seen in high-angle X-ray diffraction angles, which relate to the distance between atomic planes by the Bragg formula. So basically, you look through the X-rays, or you use the X-rays to basically be able to figure out how thick the thing you grew is, because you can grow it to like a pretty good accuracy, but like it's not exact. And then you try and find different samples of different thickness, and you do different things to them. So yeah, very cool. All right, yeah, maybe we can add the WardiTV physics report reading group read to the WardiTV 2020 the WardiTV 10-year anniversary stream celebrations next month. Subscriber goal 750 subs and Wardy will read the entire paper. It's not even that much, is it? It's like 1,000 words maybe. If we take out the references, let's have a look. Does this break if I just select everything? Ugh. It doesn't love it. It doesn't hate it either. Make it a Patreon reward. Oh, I went too far. I just want to see how many words it is. Wait, it doesn't even tell you on Google Docs. Bruh. I don't know how many words it is. Doesn't really matter. Make it a channel point reward? No, I think we'll have it as a sub goal for the WardiTV 10-year anniversary week. We're gonna have a few sub goals, playing marbles and stuff. It'll be fun. I think we'll keep it for that. Yeah. I'm trying to find the one that I actually used. The big machine that I say I used. I got to use it once and then it broke for the entire year. Yeah, because the machine I used was a bit bigger than that one. It's pretty crazy. Like, this is like the room that it lived in was bigger than my streaming room. Like, my streaming room was probably about the size of the machine, I think. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty wild. Anyways, marbles. Yeah, you guys remember marbles? Marbles was what made us famous back in the day. Hype casting marble races. There ain't nothing like it. Change the moderate slowly Fallen Redeem to require him to read the thesis to keep mod status. I don't do that to slowly. She's too nice. Oh, yeah. Poor slowly, still getting bullied even though she doesn't show up anymore. Yeah. Do I think here adding an air unit solved the PvZ issue? Not really. I don't know if we've solved the PvZ issue, but it's definitely getting a bit better for herO, but he's still very difficult, obviously, I think. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you want to hear the exciting ending of the topological Hall effect in B20 heli magnets from 12 years ago, you're just going to have to hit the sub goal next month. All right, thanks for watching. This was a bit of fun today, bit of bonus StarCraft. Like I say, the Kung Fu Cup got cancelled, and hence we just ran some bonus content instead. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, follow, support. It all helps. I will read you guys over to the WardiTV 24/7 stream when we wrap up here. I guess I'll run some ads. I'll not be here tomorrow. I need the day off tomorrow. I need to sleep a bit and just chill out. But then we've got a weekend of StarCraft, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, I have to drive back down to Helen's for another post-op checkup for Helen. So I'll not be here on Monday. And then Tuesday is the first ever WardiTV Zero Space Weekly. It's also GSTL. So I don't know if I think I want to try. It kind of depends how Helen is as well. I think I might try and cast GSTL into Zero Space, but obviously GSTL would not be live here, but I could rebroadcast it the day after. So I think that's the plan. So yes, I'll not see you guys tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I will see you guys also on the 24/7 stream if you fancy. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for actual... You know what we'll do on Saturday? Sorry, not Saturday, on Friday. We're actually going to cast the games. We're gonna go back to casting the games. We're going to give it a go. It was kind of fun yesterday when we casted the games. We're going to try cast the games again on Friday. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Have a good one. Bye.